Hey, how your mom and dad? Welcome to the Far Reaches podcast. We are four friends from Eastern Oregon who've traveled the world and wound up scattered across the U.S. Join us as we get together to talk about current events, old events, agriculture, politics, movies, books, stocks, love, and even a little bit of life. No, we don't always agree, but we stay friends and even enjoy a few laughs. We think you will too, so come on along and enjoy the ride. And don't forget, keep on reaching. Hey, don't forget to stop by our special friends at B&K Auto Salvage who help bring this podcast to you each and every week. Folks, with over 1,200 used vehicles in stock and a large selection of 4x4 parts available, that's always being updated. B&K Auto Salvage is your Eastern Oregon one-stop shopping for the automotive world. And be sure to listen very close every week for the Far Reaches promo code that's going to get you discounted pricing and bumps on those prices on that scrap. So that's our good friends at B&K Auto Salvage. Make sure you told them the Reacher sent you and listen every week for the promo code to get extra savings. Because this is just too good not to get. We were just talking about, hey, I'm your mom, and then welcome. I'll get to the introduction in a second. We were just talking about our two new sponsors, Pendleton Roundup and Wise and Flu Trucking, aka Swine Flu Incorporated. So thanks, guys, for jumping on board. I guarantee there's one of the 9 directors that we know is just ran off in the ditch. Like, what? We did what? Who's doing what? Yeah.
Swine flu pays us in boards.
Yeah, board feet. Yeah, that's how board he is. We just get it in board feet. So
gives them a log every 6 months.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with a swine flu log, but we'll be okay. He'll give us a free ride. We get to park at his shop during Roundup. We get to pre-funk there and post-funk. I think that's where
not everybody can. I don't think that's true.
What?
He doesn't like people parking there.
Well, people he doesn't know. Yeah, sure. Or if you're in the way.
I know him. I don't think he would let me park there.
If you ask him nicely, he'd be like, hey, can I park my rig here somewhere that's not in the way? I don't know. I usually park somewhere else anyways and walk down, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like we all are. Like, there's no reason to park at Flu's shop and then walk to the Roundup grounds. If you're coming from even Big Daddy's or Janet's or the Hen Dry or any of those, like it's close or so within reason than parking there. So
you have to walk through the bad part of town, though.
You do have to make it across the bridge, which can be definitely you travel in herds.
I'm talking about that strip of real estate between the Roundup grounds and Main Street when you walk down there.
Yes. Yeah.
What is that area? Like,
I don't know.
Never met anybody who lives there.
I think Bradbury and I partied with some people there one night inadvertently. Yeah, I think so.
And that was the first time you had meth.
Well, the first time. Yeah, I don't know if it was the last time or not. I don't remember. I think it was. Yeah. Maybe? No. Yes, it was. First time.
First time, yeah.
Yeah, also the last time. Not well, then I crack. That's what I'm back on now since it's free again. Or at least
you get your new pipe?
Not yet. I got to order in.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna order a pipe. Crack pipe.
Yeah. I think
if they're just giving away, yeah.
I mean,
do you want your rapid test? No, I don't want the test.
No, I want
crack pipe.
I mean, what says Black History Month like crack pipes? Seriously, I think that's what they're going for. So congratulations. You nailed it. Well done. Yeah. Perfect.
No, I saw the meme about it.
Which one? Yeah.
Well, Trump's like, I'm going to make it so, jobs programs and education opportunities for Black community, and Biden's like, we're going to send you guys all a crack pipe.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking racist piece of shit. Dude, more and more, I think it's Democrats for years have been accusing Republicans of racism. I think it's them. I think it's Democrats are fucking racist.
1,000%. That's Democrat trick number one. Accuse your opponent of doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like, that's the party of the KKK is from the Democratic Party. Like Senator Byrd, who was like Biden talked about nicely all the time was the freaking grand wizard in the KKK, dude. Like, you know, I have to go clear back to remind people that like Lincoln was a Republican. Yeah, it makes your head hurt, dude.
I'm sure we'll probably talk about it. Yeah, I love all this stuff about the Rogan controversy. I've seen some fairly prominent Black folks. I'm sick of white people telling us how we should feel about something.
Exactly. That's the other thing. And when a Black person doesn't listen to a Democrat, then they're either being misled or they're betraying themselves. Well, like Biden said, if you don't vote for me, well, then you ain't Black. Like, literally said it out loud. They have him on tape saying what Rogan did in the Senate.
And just I think the very fact that I think Democrats, if you look at their polling, I don't know if it's strictly a Democrat thing or a Republican, or it's a nonpartisan thing, but the polling itself is a little fucking ridiculous, where they break it down by polling based on you're a man, you're a woman, you have a college degree, you don't have a college degree, you're white with a college degree, or you're Black, or you're another race.
Yeah.
And it's just like universal, like, well, Black people are polling at 70%. Like, I think to summarize them like that is fairly.
Oh, yeah. It's just a big voting block. It's a pot.
I don't want to say offensive because I'm not offended by it, but it's
by the practice.
It's outlandish. And they are so much considered a solid voting bloc for Democrats and then when anybody disagrees and decides to be like, you know what, I don't like the policies, they are universally reprimanded for it.
Chastised, reprimanded, shamed, basically canceled as much as possible. It's mind-blowing. And like, okay, can you point to anywhere where any of these democratic policies have been of benefit?
I know, right? Yeah, like where has this worked? Show me a fucking example of anything that's been good.
There's got to be somewhere that's like lifted out. There's it's always like, no, it just needed a little more money, or so and so was voting against it, but it's just, we just need more power and more money for you stupid people. And you're like,
if you would stop getting in our way and let us do what we want to do, let us help you. Work. I promise it'll work this time.
Wouldn't that be all it would take? Like, just show me somewhere where this is kicking ass, and you'd be like, maybe you don't have such a bad idea here. Interesting. But you look at historically democratically ran cities, for one, and like, you can't fucking pay me to go there. Seriously.
I think more attention needs to be placed on, I mean, of course you want to go to Democratic run cities. Those are the cultural centers of the world. Like, New York City is far more interesting than Houston, Texas.
They both have their points. Yeah, but like,
I would maybe prefer at this point to live in Houston for
other
certain reasons, but taxes primarily.
So it's not necessarily the
New York is
who controls it. It's the size and the diversity of the city. That's for sure. Yeah.
You take a vacation to New York City and explore. You don't go to Houston to explore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you go to New York for 2 or 3 days, try not to get mugged, and you come home and you're like, that was fun, but I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, so these cities are fantastic. And
but you look at the infrastructure and the people, like look at New Orleans, look at Detroit, look like San Francisco is one of my favorite cities in the world, but I don't feel like, putting on my hip waders so I can dodge the needles and the people shitting on the sidewalk. Portland's a cool town as well, but no thanks.
None of these cities were created and rose to prominence under a liberal agenda.
No.
They're all the result of capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
And the less regulation you have on them, the better they become. And then they reach a certain tipping point,
mm-hmm.
and then you start going downhill.
You think it's because like people have this weird deal about like they almost feel like when they have it too well, they get too rich, they feel too good, they feel guilty about being that way, or they get bored because they have spare time and money. So they look for a cause to feel guilty about. Like what makes that tipping point? Some people do anyways. I don't know, obviously not everyone, but there gets to that point where like, I don't know what clicks in their mind, or they just feel like it's the right thing to do, or they get talked into it because they got spare money. But it never seems to do any good, is my point. Like California has some of the highest taxes in the nation. It's not having the effect I think it should,
Yeah, and California just tried to pass. I think they just voted on it. They were trying to do their own, like a single payer healthcare program.
Mm-hmm.
And they are super majority level Democrat. It didn't even pass there.
Yeah. Like, think about that. Yeah. That's because they're spending their own money. That's not quite as fun. Wait a minute.
But things trend a certain way. We are continuously trending, which is fine. I think you should, because you as a society, you kind of grow. Like, and I think we've talked about this before, but like there was a point in time. I was just at the bar before this, having a couple of beers after work, and I was sitting next to this woman that was about 60 years old, a lesbian, married to a woman, and she moved to New York for the first time in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about how she was like gay bashed, and so I was asking her about that, because it was a different world back then, right?
Gay bashed in New York in the 90s.
Yeah. And that's just, I'm sure it still happens, but it's rare. It was pretty common back then, I think. And she was like, yeah, I was curious to know back then, even in like the super liberal enclaves of New York City, like homosexuality wasn't accepted back then. I don't even think as recently as the 90s. And so I think in certain respects, progressive policies and progressive ideas are good. The entire idea of a conservative is to, slow down a little bit, guys.
Not necessarily. It's mostly like treat everybody the same. That's how I think of conservatives. That's how I was in my mind raised, is like everybody's the same. Like, look at this. Now this bastard finally comes and joins us. Yeah. This will give us a good second too to do a full intro too. So welcome to Far Reaches Podcast. We're here live or recorded, depending on when you're listening to us. Brought to you by our super good friends at B&K Auto Salvage. Joel, where's B&K Auto Salvage located at?
Which one?
Both of them.
Well, there's one in Baker City.
Uh-huh.
I think the other one is in LeGrand. Is it in LeGrand?
Correct, good sir. Baker City and LeGrand. The Grand Ron
I would have
Valley.
spaced them out more.
You gotta build where you got like a resource, a home base, so to speak. So yeah,
a lot of beater cars up there. A lot of beaters.
The demand is. Yeah. And speaking of beating it, you can beat it or you can pull it. Either way, you're going to get a good discount there if you use promo code LGB. That's discounts on pulled parts or bumping the scrap rate. So either way, you're saving money or making it. So use promo code LGB. If you don't know what that stands for, listen to an older podcast, you'll figure it out. So the bigger the sale, the bigger the discount. B&K Auto Salvage and Recycling. That's Highway 203 outside LeGrand, and also by beautiful downtown historic Baker City. Give them a call, 541-963-6744. Tell them the Reacher sent you. That's promo code LGB. Welcome, folks.
T2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Micah. That's Mr. Joel. And of course, that is Richard. Looks like Richard's having probably tofu over brown rice.
T-bone.
T-bone, very close. T-bone,
Look at-
tofu. They stand or
Look
T.
at the forearms on that guy.
Yeah, he must work out.
Yeah, he's just always picking up hay and shit.
Yeah, picking up hay. That's what
He's
it is.
got
The
just-
one forearm is massive compared to the other one.
His bicep and forearm. Jesus.
He is all that is man. That is actually like probably 20 pounds a man in a 5-pound sack, if you want to get technical.
Yeah, from this angle, it looks like Richard lost 20 pounds and then put on 40 pounds of muscle.
It's been a good couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's what he's been spending all his time.
He's been doing that all meat diet we were talking about.
Figured out camera angles is what he's been doing. That's way easier than working out.
I've slowly weaned myself onto the carnivore diet.
Are you
Are
liking
you
it?
doing that? Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was mixing it up a little bit, doing like some healthy fruits and vegetables and cheese. And the more I got onto the meat, the better I started feeling. And I cut out the rest of that stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, week 2. So,
Week 2. All right.
Yes.
Full-time week 2 or weaned week 2?
The first week was a little bit of mixing and getting into it. Had my birthday, so I had to drink a lot of Coors Light.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't drink beer and be on the carnivore diet?
Well, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. That just sounds like college.
Richard, do you have just like an endless supply of beef, or do you, when you want it, do you go to the store and get it, or you just have you have a big ass freezer from?
Yeah, I have a whole freezer full.
Yeah.
And then technically, I guess I do have an endless supply for one person. I won't be able to not eat all the carnivore diet if I choose not to,
Yeah.
Other than paying a butcher, I can probably keep going.
I like it.
Huh.
Joel, you need to get a cooler or something you could strap somewhere to the house. Yeah.
I'm gonna mix it up. I did pull out some trout. So
there you go.
Where do you get that at?
In a van down by the river.
Funny you should say that. Yes, a guy comes by my office in a van and sells me trout.
Gotta be perfect. Yeah. That's awesome.
From the trout pond. You get it from the trout pond.
Yeah, sure.
I think these trout are from somewhere around Rogue River. Not sure.
No, I don't appreciate. Jess makes fish a lot. It just pisses me off every single time.
Why it pisses you off?
Yeah.
That's a little strong, don't you think?
Well, I just hate the smell of it,
Oh.
Hate the smell of fish being cooked.
Oh. I like salmon and halibut, I guess. That's probably the extent of my fishery, if you will.
Tilapia with a lot of butter.
Tilapia, I would rather eat a box of dirt, I think, than tilapia, because that's usually what it tastes like to me. Yeah, I skip tilapia. Love salmon, love halibut. Snapper is pretty good. Obviously the shrimps. Can you eat shrimp on the carnivore diet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuna.
There's something like, what's that?
Tuna steaks are good.
Tuna. Ahi tuna is probably definitely one of my favorites. Super easy to cook. Very tasty. Yeah, like literally 4 minutes to cook tuna?
Yeah.
If that. So
good seared on her. Scallops. I really like scallops.
Scallops. Oh yeah. Joel, some scallops would have gone great with that steak you cooked tonight. That would be.
Scallop, like the fish animal?
Mussel.
The sea animal? Like the little circles?
It's a circle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like those. Those are.
You don't like scallops?
No, they give me a weird, like a strange headache.
Interesting. Maybe you have a fish allergy or something, or a seafood allergy. I don't know. Do you like ahi tuna steaks? Those are tasty.
I've never had that. I like sushi tuna. I like sushi. I like raw fish. I just don't like the smell of cooked fish.
Mm-hmm. I cook in the air fryer. I think that helps a little bit for one. But like a tuna steak, it doesn't smell fishy to me. And you like sear it for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes on each side, and then it's done. It's really, really good. Tuna steaks.
But yeah, I'm getting pretty good at cooking steaks now. I think I'm 2 in.
Yeah,
I got this figured out.
the one the one you cooked tonight looked good.
Oh man, it was really good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Where'd you get?
I
the
think
beef
I got it from that Colorado.
Oh, from
craft
Jeff.
beef.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Finally arrived. You know what? One of my favorite parts of that was the box that came in,
Mhm.
packaged up. It comes with like and you get it from like other companies too, but like HelloFresh sends it. They don't have this technology. That was fascinating, but it's like what do you call it? Insulated, the insulation, and it's made out of corn. I was
Oh,
reading
yeah.
the thing. You just put it in the sink, get
It
it
just
wet, and it
dissolves.
just dissolves.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and it's so satisfying to do it too.
It's better than popping bubbles, really. Yeah.
Like I wish that could be my full-time job, is dissolving corn foam. It's so fun.
Next, come in. And you just put it in the sink. Yeah. Because you
But
wouldn't have an industrial setup. You'd still have the same kitchen. That's just your job.
I mean, I've never seen this before. Have you seen this? You know
Yeah.
about this?
Absolutely.
I feel like maybe I'm just late to the party, but I was like, everybody should know about this. This is incredible, like because it's so environmentally friendly. I feel like, and just,
good use of the corn residue, and
I
it's fun, too.
always feel bad. I
don't know how many moles had to die.
I always feel bad when I get a package and you go to throw it away, and it's like all this space, the volume, of the garbage can that you're taking up, and this thing is just like, no, just get it wet and it'll go away.
That's what she said. Yeah, thank you. I was waiting for that, by the way. Yeah.
No, Mike, that's wrong. If you get it wet, they'll never go away.
They'll eventually go away. Yeah.
Coming back, man.
What's the difference between a brick and a? Oh, never mind. Yeah. I told a joke at NCBA that I had to tell everybody, wanted to hear it again, and it's about the dude that stops by the store on the way home. He's walking back and he's got it's a bottle of wine, and he's walking down the street, and this old drunk dude rolls up and he's like, hey, what do you got in that bag? The guy's like, I got a bottle of wine for my wife. Good trade. Yeah. And so
That's all I could do not to spit food out.
sorry. So next time you go buy a bottle of wine, remember that. Sorry to interrupt, Joel. So you're talking about your steak.
Yeah, it turned out really good.
Look good. I gotta ask you a question though. I'm gonna talk about your technique. How long did you let it sit out before you put it in the pan?
So yeah, I didn't plan that very well. Because after work I went to get a couple beers, which is fun. Like there was this girl at the bar that across the bar. She was like, "You're my neighbor." Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, cool.
But she's on the first floor, so she sees me walk in all the time.
Neighborhood connection.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then we went after we left the bar, walked her home, and we did a couple errands together. Went to the meat store.
Nice.
What was your question?
How long did you let your steak sit out before you put it in the pan?
Oh yeah, so I didn't get home in time, so I only let it sit out for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let the oven heat up. I patted it dry. I don't get why you have to do that, but I did it. And then I just did I did 2 minutes and 30 seconds on both sides. And then the oven 450 for 5 minutes.
There you go.
It's so easy to do. And then you just throw as much butter as you have at it.
Yeah. Salt. pepper, butter, done.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fantastic.
I cut up a couple cloves of garlic.
That's good too. You'll start
Yeah.
experimenting. You can let it sit
I
out
mean-
for like an hour. It cooks even better.
Little rosemary.
The closer to room temperature, the happier it is.
See, all the videos I watch on how to cook it, it includes that, Richard. It includes like the rosemary stem and garlic.
Garlic.
But I'm not that familiar with using garlic, but I can't imagine it does much.
It's tasty. Just
You
try
can't
getting some.
imagine- You don't think that garlic does much?
Yeah, I
Get
don't think
some-
it does anything.
It does. It blows it up. Like good coarse kosher salt does a nice job. Garlic. It'll just keep building flavors. Yeah. Try like
the
even garlic powder
garlic
does
is
a good
just-
job.
Garlic is just a solid thing. It's not even, it doesn't melt,
No, wow.
does it?
You've never
Does it?
watched Goodfellas for one, but two, yeah, it infuses into the oil or the butter in the pan. Like it gives off its flavor into that pretty easy.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of comes from. Or just next time after you cook it, put a little garlic powder on top. I mean, that's blasphemy, but you'll get like that taste just from that. You're like, oh wow, that's cool.
Well,
So-
we have garlic. We have a garlic clove.
Oh, there you go.
Jesse,
Yeah.
Jesse uses it for stuff. I just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
Like-
you can't. The tricky part is in the pan. It might get a little. You got to keep it going or it'll get burned, and that'll taste bad.
Then, once you master garlic, then you have to learn about the Holy Trinity.
What's the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit?
Different
No.
one.
It's I always get it wrong.
Is that the Holy Trinity?
Onions,
That's one of them.
celery, onions, and I want to say green peppers, right?
Yeah, that's the Holy Trinity. Some places it's carrots. It's a mirepoix.
mushrooms.
Yeah. Mushrooms are totally different. That's one of my favorite things with steak is mushrooms. They both have that good earthy tone. You can cook mushrooms in the butter. Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing if you're gonna have something with the steak. But there's shrooms for sure.
Shrimp with your steak?
Shrooms, no mushrooms. Shrimp's really good with steak too. Don't get me wrong. Most definitely.
What I bought some macaroni salad,
Mhm.
which store-bought macaroni salad is always pretty gross. I feel like I threw caution to the wind tonight. Me and my neighbor downstairs went by and I bought their macaroni salad. It's delicious.
Oh, good. Oh, that's outstanding.
As long as it's homemade.
Did you ever have Local Boys macaroni salad on campus in Corvallis?
Did I ever?
That is macaroni salad. I'm going to walk there
Yeah.
right now for that. Yeah.
That's the best I've ever had in the world.
Yeah.
That's the best. I bet they would win a macaroni salad world
Have
competition.
to. Yeah. Especially with the sauce.
Yeah, dude, so
The
good.
sauce. Yeah. Damn it. I shouldn't have thought about it. But when you said macaroni salad, that's instantly where my mind went.
I went there. I went to Corvallis this past summer. I went to Local Boys. Man, what a fucking treat that place is.
Falcon. Damn it, Janet.
And it's
Yep.
still in the same place.
It
still in
really
the
is.
Same
Oh,
room.
really?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I'll be
fucking-
damned.
It's like
Little rat's
it's a-
nest
it's a-
upstairs and
yeah, it's
Seats
such
like
a
12
gross
people.
location. And they haven't made any changes since I was there in college.
well, consistency is good, but you figure by
Like
now
it's
that
a little.
whole
It's
old
actually
building.
run down. It's actually run down since I was there.
I
It
was
was
gonna say-
already run down.
It wasn't exactly pristine prior to, but wow.
But that place could take over.
I figured that on the
culinary
whole
world.
building. I'm freaking salivating right now thinking about Local Boys, like everything. To me, the rice, the salad, the whole shit-a-roo. Yeah, like
Yeah, dude, taking the rice and the
oh yeah.
mac salad and
And then the
mixing
sauce.
it all together with like the chicken and the sauce. What
Hey,
a
Richard's like, I don't know what you a-holes are talking about, but
It makes me think of a pub and sub in Reno.
quite similar. Yeah,
Has not changed.
yeah.
what's
is-
the place in Reno?
Pub and sub.
Pub and sub.
I bet Local Boys is better than a place called Pub and Sub in Reno.
They're two different genres, that's like comparing. Yeah.
I feel like Pub and Sub, is that can I guess that is a bar where you can also do your laundry?
Not suds, sandwiches, sub. Yeah.
Pizza bar in the middle of a neighborhood about 4 blocks off of the UNR campus. It's the only business for blocks.
I do have to admit, I like the thought of a bar / laundromat. There'd be shit in the washer for days because you'd get drunk and forget. Come back a couple days later, you got to wash it again because it's stanky. It happens again.
You'd have to have an attendant.
Yeah, because the rinse, lather, repeat would just be in effect. Yeah, that'd be awful. It'd be fun.
The very first time I ever went to the laundromat Corvallis was in there, and Derek Anderson walked in.
Like what?
Yeah.
Don't you have people? That's funny. We used to go to the laundromat freshman year in LeGrand because we had a dryer, but we didn't have a washer. So we would go to I think it was called Bubbles, and wash everything, and then we drag it home. Of course, it weighs 706 pounds when you have 14 pair of Wranglers and 7 shirts in your freaking bag, and then run it in the dryer the rest of the day. Instead of just, probably could have gone to a local pawn shop or used appliance store and got a washer for $50, but it kind of added to the adventure for a while. I think eventually we got one, but memories too. That was the place to go. Bubbles was pretty nice, actually. So a lot of people hung out there.
Memories.
Yeah, we'd take a cooler usually, so it was okay.
Talking about memories.
I love having Joel on the speaker still running, so it's handy.
Pouring myself a Pendleton Rye.
I was gonna say I heard a wrapper and then I just heard a cork, so it's nice.
Pendleton Rye is not bad,
dude. That is like marbles on a mirror. That's how smooth that shit is, man.
The packaging is great. Do you guys put a little water in there, or you just do ice?
Just a splash. Yeah, that's me. Just a splash. Usually but I make sparkling water, with the soda stream thing. And that adds a little effervescence to the 1910, but it doesn't need any help. And if I have a lime standing by, I like a little lime in my whiskey. No scurvy. So
God.
Yeah, there's a great little liquor store here north of town that'll bring 1910 in for me. I actually have a bottle of Director's Reserve sitting there waiting for me to go pick up right now, actually.
I went to
that's off starting
bowling. I went bowling the other night.
Oh, you did? Yes. Yeah, my eye is detached retina. Yeah. I got it. It was
I don't know if Richard sent it. Or if Richard saw it.
I saw your Instagram, you might have. Did you leave it on there?
No, I deleted it. Kind of embarrassing when you're sober.
That's why
I got my laughs.
That was good. Yeah.
So
Joel was doing his Bert Kreischer impersonation.
Yeah, what I did for the people at home, I went to the bowling alley.
For your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way, Joel.
Thank you. I went there, and after a few beverages, I was like, I'm going to take my shirt off and throw a ball.
I mean, that's natural, right? It's like it's what the dude would do.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I did it one time before, and I just didn't. I didn't get a strike.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't get a lot of strikes, right? And then a few beers later, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna do it one more time, and nice. Took my shirt off, and then I threw it in chew, grabbed my ball, perfect strike,
nailed it.
Beautiful.
It was
beautiful,
like textbook.
Beautiful throw.
Donnie wept openly. That's how pretty it was.
So, what day was your birthday, Joel?
My birthday was on Monday.
Yeah, and Richard's was
Friday.
When was yours? Friday. Creepy.
Oh, you just had a birthday too?
Yeah, you were on the text.
Oh, did I say happy birthday?
I think you did. You were very, very, very polite, very celebratory. Yes.
Happy birthday. How old did you turn, Richard?
Huh?
46.
46. Yeah.
Four.
Get up in the morning and do the math.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't know. seriously, you don't know how old you are? I'm like, no, I don't freaking know how old I am.
My wife got up and said, well, how old are you today? I'm like, I think 45. She goes, no, I think you're older than that.
Thanks, honey. Yeah. Work with me, honey. Work with me. It's for the both of us, okay?
It really does. Like I do it too. I've been doing it for years. Like, because you never think about how old you are actively, and then when somebody's like, "How old are you?" Like, fuck. I don't know, 37, 38, 39, somewhere in
And
there.
you're like, nah, I don't know. I was 70 sometime. Yeah, whatever. Don't worry about it.
I'm not 40. I'm not 40. I think
Not yet.
we all
No.
remember.
We're gonna have
40.
to have some fun for that one. Yeah.
Either Vegas or I did a little bit of reading today about the Phoenix Waste Management
Oh yeah.
tournament. That'd be a really.
We've
fun
got
time.
some pseudo connections there as well. A lot of the Pendleton gang have been there a couple times, and then some friends used to anyways have some housing in that part of the world. So yeah, we have some inside track. Let's put it that way. I say we because I just invited myself to your 40th birthday party at the Phoenix Waste Management Open. But yeah,
Yours at Pendleton wasn't bad in the Letter Buck room.
that was fun. Yeah, that's a good surprise. Pseudo surprise.
Who's what? What was
mine? It? I had my 40th at the LBR.
Oh, you did?
Everybody's like, hey, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, I don't really know. I haven't thought about it much. You gonna be here? I don't really know. And finally, Junior's like, damn it, we're throwing you a party. You have to be in town. Oh, okay, that'll work. Yeah. So we barbecued, and my good buddy Hugh and his brother Bill were honorary bartenders. And so that was cool. You know, Hugh Barrett, you know Hugh, right, Richard? Yeah.
I was there.
I know, but I didn't know you remembered it or not. Yeah. So
Barely.
I forgot your jacket. Yeah.
It's probably easier to figure out where I haven't forgot my jacket.
That's true. Is that the same time that Al got boots? Is that the same trip or a different one?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So it's my birthday, and then I had errands the next day to go gather up all the wayward articles of clothing. That's glad you're over there. So yeah, that was a fun one. I found some pictures of that the other day. But waste management would be good, Joel. That's a fun time. Haven't been yet. Usually some meetings jack me up for that. Vegas is always good. That's where we had Kurt's birthday in Vegas. He got a hole-in-one when we were playing golf. Obviously, it's not really a place you can get a hole-in-one that I'd mentioned on TV. So
a lot of places you can get a hole-in-one in Vegas, though.
There is that indeed, yes. And I always attract that person for some reason. So yeah. Hell, I'm having fun right now. Yeah. That was a different trip. That was McDave's wedding, actually, but oh, wow, I totally forgot that whole excursion. So near a year to get you all prepped, Joel. So
what happened in the news this week, Mike?
This week, man, it was kind of slow. No, it wasn't.
Is Nancy Pelosi still a bitch?
Yes.
Check. That's a Shane Gillis joke.
I like that.
Well, Nancy Pelosi's still a bitch. Oh, dude. If anybody's listening and they haven't seen it yet, Shane Gillis's special YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's glorious.
Incredible. He has the full support of Joe Rogan, who is about as uncontroversial as you can get.
Yes, 100% that too. Yeah, so that's funny. God, where do we begin, dude? With like a current, I guess, reach around / current events, because there's about 8,000 things that are just unfurling and disintegrating and coming apart at the seams. And yeah, I
don't think we need a full reach around. Let's just jump into it.
Yeah, that's what we've kind of been doing anyways. Yeah. So it's yeah, so we got the Canadian truck drivers and the cowboys up there raising hell. We've got crack pipes. We've got Stacey Abrams not wearing a mask. We got reverse new science erupting in front of our eyes about masks and mandates and all that sort of fun stuff. We've got dual Roganisms. What else?
Let's talk about the Canada thing.
No
kind
dude
of
about
a-
it.
Kind of a way of thinking about what's the, I don't know. I'll just say it. When it's traditionally a tactic of the left, like
What's
the
that?
Antifa and the people, to shut down the roads. They go out on the FDR or the West Side Highway or whatever fucking road, and they shut it down, and like you can't. They go on highways and like you can't drive, and they create a traffic jam, and then everybody gets mad. Like people hate you because you're interfering with our day-to-day life.
Mhm.
On the other hand, then they're doing essentially the same thing in Ottawa. They're just
Similar,
shutting everything down. And so, to their point, they bring up a good point. Like it pisses me off when Antifa or whatever shuts down a road and it impedes traffic and the free flow of people. And Ottawa is doing the same thing, but for some reason I support it, and I can't reconcile that fully.
Is that hurting you a little
I
bit?
think it's hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite for it.
To a degree. Not, I think it's different. Obviously, I probably feel the same way that you do. I think a part of it is it's the downtown section. So it's not like they're closing the freeway with people. It's trucks. It's like a parade. I think the other part is like
you're also
here's the other part
justifying
though.
it there. You're
I am, and
trying
here
to
I'm
rationalize
gonna
it
tell you
without-
why I am. Here's why I'm justifying it though. They said what they were going to do for weeks. And this convoy came from all over the country. And they're like, we're coming here to talk to you, Prime Minister, because this is bullshit. We don't like what's going on. And he leaves. He calls them extreme fringe racists, basically, and goes somewhere else. And so then, like, well, fine. We're going to sit here till you come back and you change this shit. So that's why I'm like, I think it's different, because it wasn't like they just showed up on the FDR at 9:00 at night for no reason with a little sign. Like they had a list of demands. It was weeks in the coming, and the leader slandered them and then ran out of town. So I don't blame them in that regard. That's how I see it, is partially different. The other part is like I happen to believe in what they're talking about. So holy shit balls, here comes Rawls. So I believe in what they're doing also. That probably helps.
Yeah, but
Sure.
mean, the other side believes in what the other people are doing.
Of course they do, but I don't. So look at the head on that one, man.
You're talking about truckers.
Here he comes.
But you're still being a hypocrite,
Well,
right?
not necessarily being a hypocrite. No, I think it's two different things.
It's a different
And
thing.
they're not assaulting anybody either that tries to cross the line or whatever either. I think that's where the difference is also.
It makes me think that the true answer is at a more fundamental level than how these things surface. Like, so shutting down the street is a symptom
Mhm.
of something bigger underneath it. And I hate it when they shut down the street for Antifa or BLM or some shit.
Mhm.
But I'm like, okay, well, you're really going to affect some change. Maybe this is the only way you can do it if you're the truckers.
Mhm.
The difference, I think the fundamental difference, if you were to boil it down, and you could probably boil it down even further, but you could boil it down to the level of the truckers are fighting against the government. They're telling the government, stop controlling me.
Mhm.
I don't want your. So you put in these restrictions or these policies, be like, we're trying to help you, and
Yeah.
it reminds me of the scene in Dumb and Dumber. You know, when they're in the truck stop and Lloyd's trying to give that guy mouth to mouth, and he's resisting.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's like, just hold on, I'm trying to save your life.
I'm trying. Yeah,
This
is good for you. You just don't know it.
Yeah, you don't know it, and you're fighting. I'm like, I don't want your help. And this is what the truckers are saying, that we don't want your input.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
And whereas, like, I think when the left wing has their similar tactics with protests. They're asking for more government involvement and stuff, and not totally, because they're asking for like get the police out of our life. And to a certain extent, I agree with them. Like we shouldn't have the police doing all the shit that they're doing, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. It's hard.
I guess that's one point too. It's
I'm
like,
I'm
do
a
you ever know
hypocrite.
what the fuck Antifa's wanting besides just to burn shit down and cause riots? I don't know. I never seen like a here's our list of what we're looking for. Here's what we want.
Well,
I
the
don't
big thing
know.
is they want to defund the police.
That's not a good thing at all. Hey, and that's not
In
where
our
it all started,
opinion,
is
but
it?
in our opinion, it's not a good thing. But in their opinion, it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
that doesn't make it fucking right though. I mean, I can totally disagree with him and still be okay. I think that's illogical.
Hmm. I don't know. I think we're hypocrites. I think we're hypocrites.
That's fine. No, I'm all fucking okay with that too. Like, is there nothing wrong with that? Like, I like this cause, therefore I support it. I don't like that cause, therefore I don't.
No, it's not. It's not good to be a hypocrite. I don't think.
I don't think it's hypocritical either. I'm just like, that's my opinion.
I think
I
if
support
you-
what they're talking about.
If you were to look at the situation, if you were to correct other things involved on the surface, I would be like, yeah, okay, defund the police. We don't need police, but other things need to be lightened up too. Like, okay, defund the police, but
No.
the
So that's a different topic that
my-
we're going to disagree on. But
no, my point is that I'll take care of myself, and don't make laws that prevent me from taking care of myself.
I'm
You
all for
can
that.
defund the police, but I'm going to carry a gun.
Mhm.
And then I'm okay. I'm good with that.
Sure. Richard, you're dying to say something.
Fucking
I was
cops
gonna
are
say-
assholes, man.
You're a hypocrite if you don't think you're a hypocrite.
There you go. Yeah, some cops are assholes, Joel. No doubt about it. Yeah, you should
Yeah,
not give a
don't-
nerd authority.
Don't pull me over because I didn't come to a full stop, you fucking dipshit.
I don't like cops sitting along the road waiting for me to go by doing 68 and a 65. I think that's idiocy when there's fucking crack houses every block. But I think overall, like, yeah, let's spend less money on cops. Okay, that makes zero sense. When's the last time anybody's out there? Defund the teachers. Okay, I'm not seeing it, and they need reform just as much as cops do. Okay, so where's it end?
Yeah, I used to say it as a joke about like, should taxpayers fund schools? I don't
Absolutely
think
not.
so anymore.
No, not at all, dude.
I don't
At
think
the
so
state
anymore.
level,
Locally, yeah,
Yeah.
locally. Mr. Bigsby, the hell are you doing down there being all silent and violent? What's going on, brother?
I heard there was a meeting and I thought I'd join.
Well, by God, welcome. Now we have a quorum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel and I are having way too much fun by ourselves, and Richard came on at 8 for a while, and then you showed up. So, howdy, welcome.
Yeah. What's going
you
on?
waited on somebody to calve.
She did
Oh.
about 3 months ago, didn't she?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
no,
duck.
the, yeah. The I've got some heifers that are up close and just kind of anytime I'm waiting on them. But
Explain that term, will you, Raleigh? It's not like they're right next door. I mean, they might be, but
What term, heifer?
no, up close or heifer, both would be
Both.
clarified. Would be nice.
they're just could calve at any point in time, and they're all really tight bag and springy, and it's just a matter of when they decide to show up now. So, but
Thought you had one already.
You did.
had two so far. Yeah. So
That was the word around the campfire.
yeah, no, so far so good. Haven't had to do anything, just let them do their deal. So I hopefully that continues and don't have to get too involved. We're up fairly, it's 35 right now, but we were up to 52 today, which was pretty warm, and so snow's coming off, but it still got enough to where it'll make a pain in the butt for anything to calve outside. So
Yeah.
How
this
many
spring-
how many calves do you think you're gonna have?
between 280 and 300, I think. I don't know.
And then
Mm.
so then you'll do that, and then will you take all of them wait? Do you wait 6 months and then sell them, or what do you?
Yeah,
Give me the
generally.
highlights.
Run us through the process, if you will, good sir.
Well, we
Circle of life.
typically calve out our cows starting the beginning of March through April. Calve the heifers early like this, so they have a little more chance to catch up to rebreed. They'll go to grass in April, late April and May.
The
And
cows will.
the pairs, yeah, be
Everybody.
turned out, and then right around the 1st of June, we'll put bulls in to rebreed for next year. So they'll calve about the 1st of March, and then
Right in front of their kids.
yeah,
Yeah. That helps the weaning process. Yeah.
yeah,
Fucking kinky little sluts.
yeah. And then
Multiple times with numerous partners, I might add.
yeah, no monogamy.
Not a condom in sight.
Thank God.
No, and then they'll be turned out in the summer and bring them in the fall and just kind of see how the fall and late summer go as to when I set up shipping dates. So
That doesn't really answer my question. So you get these new calves by the next 3 weeks. You'll probably have 280.
I wouldn't say the
calves,
next
and
3
then
weeks, but by the end of March, 1st of April.
It'll take that long.
Yeah, well,
You got
main
the
cow herd-
heifers first, and then
yeah,
the cows take what, 45 days, somewhere there else?
I leave the bulls in for 60 days,
Okay,
but
yeah.
typically 45 days. I've got 90% of them.
Out of those 300, to make the math easy,
Mhm.
how many end up getting like slaughtered and killed and for
Harvested?
eating? Harvested.
It kind of depends. I mean, it depends on how they get bought, but a lot of times we'll keep back 10% for replacement heifers, depending on the year and what the market looks like.
Okay, so you keep like about 30 of them,
Yeah.
and then you get a bull. But you can't have the same bull because that's its daughter. So you have to get a different bull.
Typically, yes. You trade out
Do you
genetics.
switch out your bull every year?
Oh no, I'll buy 3 or 4 bulls every year, and then every
What do you do with the old one?
send them to slaughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
You figure on average you're going to get 50% bulls and 50% steers and cows out of your calf crop, kind of average.
Ideally,
does a bull just become ground beef?
Typically.
You don't want to eat a steak of a bull, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, actually, you probably did. Yeah.
Eat whatever you want, but
Well, you can, but it's not going to be very good, right?
most of them just go into the butcher beef market and go to burger. So
Right.
That's why you make him a steer.
Mhm.
Well, numerous reasons, but yeah.
The people keep their bulls for years, don't they?
I don't know. I don't think it's probably that great of a practice to keep them much over 5, but that's myself. They get to be a real pain in the ass, and especially if you're turned out in rough country, they tend to not get out and work quite as hard as. I mean, do you want to breed as many women now as you did when you were 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have the ability?
Well, that's different. Yeah. That's different. How much time you giving me? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess a little rejuvenation into your breeding program helps. So, Richard, you might have input on what you think there.
Ours don't usually make it over 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So if we like them, we might keep them around and give them light duty in a pasture somewhere. But
right,
we go out on the desert, so 4 or 5 years they're usually shooting blanks and up.
But if you have a good bull, couldn't you just trade them with other people?
No, I mean
instead of buying a new bull.
So part of my practice, some guys don't do it, but I semen test every year to make sure that they're still fertile, and that's why Richard was talking about shooting blanks. A lot of times, you get much over 6 years old, your semen quality goes down, and you don't have near the fertility. So it's just good practice to try and cull when need be and replace them with younger, different sets of genetics to keep different gene pools going through your cow herd.
So like in PRCA and PBR, how old are those bulls?
I couldn't tell you. I that's a whole. I guess they may breed some of those bulls, and they certainly collect some of them for semen for the specialized AIing programs now. But they're not like they're out working all the time. Those have a pretty good life. They're kept in and grained every day and taken care of like a show steer. So
different target for sure.
A whole different type of a program, and they're probably, I would say, most of them bulls are going to buck between the ages of 3 or 4 and 8 to 10, probably, if their frame holds up to the abuse of bucking. And then a lot of those guys, if they're any good, keep them around as some sort of a memoir. I don't know.
Well, they keep them for breeding, right? Like the good ones.
Yeah, I'm sure they do keep the good ones and collect them as long as they have good fertility in their.
Like you can still find like Red Rock's lineage.
Potentially, I don't know. It's possible that that's still around. That's going pretty far back, but
yeah.
I think there's probably a lot better bucking bulls these days than what there were in the 1980s.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just shattered Joel's opinion of bulls. That's okay.
I just thought they were older than 5 or 6.
What's that, Richard?
There's a lot of emphasis put on bulls. A lot of guys spend a lot of time worrying about their bulls, but genetically, the cow brings 70% of the mix to the party. So really,
here comes the feminist talk.
Yeah, but I mean, the most important thing you can do is take care of your mother cow herd. Make sure their genetics are straight and good.
Yeah,
you need the bulls to do that, but bulls. Anyways, the purpose of the bull is to cover the cows, and you want to have a bull that's going to breed as many cows as possible. If you're a purebred operation, you have different goals. You're shooting for some different things. If you're a beef guy, yeah, you like to have good genetics, but you also want to weigh a certain amount at a certain expected time, and you decide how much money you want to invest in your bulls to get there. And it's pretty negligible. I think a 4,000-pound bull will get you just as close to a 600-pound weaned calf at the end as a $12,000 bull.
Yeah,
it comes down to. I mean,
well, environment and everything else plays a lot of that too. If they're
so you want to pick your bulls for the type of cows you want. That's really, I think, what one of the biggest goals having a bull should be, and that they breed as much as they can possibly get bred.
Richard and probably didn't reply to my. So there
Richard, go ahead. I just got a question for Richard.
No, go ask it because I was gonna.
Richard, what are your top 5 genetic qualities that you want to have in your mother cow?
5 of them. 5.
That includes carcass, everything across the board.
Milkability.
What's that?
Milkability.
Fuckability.
Milkability.
Milk.
Oh, okay.
Disposition's big for me. Stay Micah's term.
Stability.
Yeah,
I want a cow that's still bringing me a calf at 12 years old if she can do it.
Absolutely.
And then what I got to do 2 more.
Yes, sir.
Conversion.
Ah, nice.
And I guess confirmation would be my other one, which given genetics, you don't have to have a best looking. It's sort of like Moneyball. They don't have to look the best, but I still like to pick animals by eye. And it's not any good. You can't pick something that hangs on the hook by how it looks on the hoof, but I think you can. I guess if I was going to do a 5th, they have to sort of look feminine.
Feminine? Yeah.
Feminine, yeah.
Just
I
say
see a lot
cinnamon
of-
with an F.
Yeah.
What's that?
Some of the bigger like breeding Angus cows I see, they look pretty butch.
Mhm.
Real coarse. Yeah.
Did you say feminine?
Yeah. Feminine.
Oh, you can tell if a cow looks feminine.
Yeah, she'll have like a smaller kind of head and hippie. Like you'll know, you'll see.
Disposition.
You gotta be around them a lot, and then you start picking up on these little things, right?
Yeah,
What are your
cow eye.
five, Roll? What are your five, Rolly?
Stability or longevity, whichever you want to call it, is probably one of the biggest ones that I want to see. I want to see good 205 type genetics as far
Weaning
as
weight?
I want growth, weaning weights. Let's see. Milk is important because that's going to get you a lot to that weaning weight. Probably, I don't know. I don't mind seeing some carcass quality in there too. However, it's not huge when you're turned out. I mean, that I want to see more maternal characteristics in there than I do carcass. But your disposition is a big one.
That's four.
Are you
and a half.
picking a cow or a wife?
Yep.
Well, I went bad in the disposition department.
That's not going to help your stability.
Yeah.
Or definitely not your calving ease either. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to.
And my cow also
frame-
has to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Honestly, like a frame size is important. I don't want a big 1,400-pound mature cow. I'd rather see him somewhere closer to 1,200. I think that helps your stability a little more.
Yeah, especially it's pretty tightly correlated, I think, to efficiency also. But yeah, you're right. I think it takes that's just a bigger engine to keep running.
It is, and it allows less resources for more cattle.
Yeah.
I think they're going to work through a lot more feed than. That's my opinion.
These cows are going to get so expensive here pretty soon, aren't they?
I think they are. Yeah. I mean, it's headed that way.
You guys are going to be fine.
About 3 more
The rest of
months.
us are going to starve.
Yeah, I think once we see some green up here, it's gonna take that market and run a little. But no, I just was curious what it's interesting for me to ask that question to guys in different regions, in different areas, and where they graze and how they operate. You see a lot of difference in what their top 5 things look at.
You see it everywhere. That's one of my favorite questions when I was doing nutrition is like, what's one of your goals? And almost every time I'd get, I want good mama cows.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. Now, what does that mean? How do you quantify that? And everybody's got a different idea. Some of them had never thought about it besides good mama cows,
I honestly, I've forgotten what my index at GeneSeek. I had top 5 traits that I would was trending towards based on percentages, and I can't think off the top of the head what I wrote down on that, or I'd have to go back to my profile and see. But I think they haven't changed much. Stayability is definitely huge because the longevity of a cow is profitability. Joel, is that your dog?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel's like, did I get a dog? Shit. Yeah. I don't think I've been feeding my dog. Did I take it for a walk? Yeah.
I want a dog so bad.
No, that's
The thing I've learned this year is how important climate and environment is. My same bunch of cows brought me back smaller calves than they ever have. And I knew they were out working, but with the smoke and the water and the heat
Drought.
and everything, my calves were probably 100 pounds under where
Damn.
they should have been.
No, that was pretty we didn't see the 100 pounds off up here, but 30 to 60 was common for everybody in this neck of the woods off of historic data.
Crazy.
Hmm.
That's a huge. When you bank on that every year,
Yeah, that's
Nutrition's
that's
such
the
a big
profit
deal.
margin. Yeah.
And when we go through these droughts, and the effect it has on everything is amazing. It really is.
well, the guys in Lakeview see it even worse. Weight differences because they were just socked in smoke the entire time.
Well, and I think you really see the effect of how good of soil you're running on when it comes to these events, because the soil is the generator for your quality of grasses, and when you get into those areas where more marginal soil is part of the program, I think it really shows up on these bad years even worse.
You got excellent soil up there, though, right? Nothing.
Yeah, we've got really good soil, great grass and good soil.
Yeah. Where
That's
Richard
because
is, I don't know if that's true. You guys are more like
Alkaline.
Utah.
A lot of alkali, yeah.
Tell the cows go eat weeds and.
Now, one of
Exactly.
my pastures is really, one of the places I lease is really good. And usually our desert cattle, if it's any type of year at all, they bring back big, huge honking calves. But they suffered quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
They actually were the first bunch to go. So, anyways.
I sent this to everybody. I don't know if Rich, Micah laughed about it. I don't know if Richard and Raleigh saw it, but there was an article in the New York Times today, or a few days ago, about New Yorkers who, once the pandemic hit, and they like went and did stuff. They're like, well, I want more space, so I bought an apartment. People moved out of the city and they bought houses, and then so it was following up with those people to say how'd that turn out for you. There was this New York couple. Richard Raleigh, did you guys even read this?
I don't know.
I did.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So this couple bought a place in Florida because they could go work remote. And they said there really wasn't much hesitation at that point. We're defeated, we're exhausted, we're anxious, said Miss Mohan, a curriculum developer for educational company. We really just wanted to own a house. And then they say, so they ended up buying a farm, if you will.
Oh, I saw this, yeah.
It says, almost immediately, the couple regretted their decision. The property felt eerily quiet and isolated. Maintaining 5 acres and 2 cows was more work than they anticipated. And I say, you see these people on Instagram with their farm life. That's what I said. Nobody tells you what actual hard work that is and how time consuming it. So they ended up, they converted it to an Airbnb because the 5 acres and the 2 cows was way
That's too
more work
much.
than they anticipated.
Looks way more fun on Instagram than it was in real life.
So I sent that to Richard and Raleigh, and I was expecting like some reaction.
And they
Yeah,
have to
they're
take
busy.
time out from working to actually read it. That's the problem.
Busy taking care of your 100 cows.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of the people that call me at the real estate office and they found this 20 or 40 acre place. And they're like, can I raise some cows on there? And I'm like,
No.
probably not.
Some cows.
They goes, well, I'd like to move somewhere where we have 5 or 6 head of cattle. I said, well, this is not the place. And they're like, but it's 40 acres.
Okay, if you want to buy hay for my buddy all year round, then okay, you probably could basically dry lot 5 cows on 40 acres, but it's
So
Welcoming the Trembling Acres. Yes, that's.
Get a kick out of it. They think that it's about the acreage.
You're a shitty real estate agent. You're supposed to be selling them dreams, not reality.
I told one guy one time that if I wouldn't sell it to him, he was looking for a place outside of Beatty, and he was telling me about how prepared he was. He was a prepper.
Oh, Jesus.
He was gonna go isolated, and I said, "Look, buddy," and I did pick it up on some stuff from him, and I was like, "Yeah, you have never ever probably been off the asphalt." Anyways, I said, "I wouldn't sell this place to you in a million years." They said, "You're gonna get up there. The first thing that's probably gonna happen to you is you get scalped." And he goes, "The Indians aren't that bad." I said, "No, if you know them, but I can tell from talking to you that you're gonna get scalped." The lady that's my receptionist was rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah, I almost just peed myself just hearing that conversation. Like, they're not that bad. That's even funnier.
Up in LeGrand, you could
That hurts.
raise a cow on 5 acres easily, couldn't you?
Oh yeah,
Not everywhere in the Grand, but maybe in the valley. But
valley.
I feel. Okay,
and you can raise them anywhere you want. It just depends on how much hay you want to haul in and water. So, like,
The water's the key.
yeah, like nothing's impossible if you have enough money and time. But
How much like Joseph land do you need for one cow?
Different everywhere.
How many cows per acre can Joseph support without having to constantly throw hay at
Like-
these little fuckers?
Joseph proper?
Sure.
Or
yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to get
Like,
into the city
well,
limits, but
let's
you know,
say, I mean, zoning is, I don't know, there's 5-acre parcels you could buy up here, I guess, that you could potentially put a cow on during the irrigated season. But where I turn out, I figure 1 pair per 14 acres for 6 months during a grazing season.
1 pair per 14 acres. Wow.
And
6 months.
for 6 months, and then
Right.
and then you're into supplement feeding after that, whether it be aftermath grazing on irrigated ground and then feeding hay. But
And by a pair, you mean like the
Cow
cow calf.
cow and its calf?
1
Yes.
AUM, animal unit month.
Yeah.
Richard got so depressed or he's laughing so hard he just left, apparently.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. That's creepy. Like, he doesn't even show you on the screen as like a phone. It's just like, no, I'm still here, like some gator with the eyes just above the water, you know? Yeah.
There was a reply to that article on Twitter that made me laugh. If you guys can remember back to that famous Paul Harvey commercial during the Super Bowl, probably
that one almost made me pee my pants about God made a farmer.
Yeah. Remember the God made a farmer commercial?
Yeah.
Paul Harvey voice, Riley? This one said, and God said, "I need someone to get up before dawn, fix their hair and makeup, put on a rugged designer Carhartt jacket, take a selfie in the morning sunrise with a cow, and IG that bitch before 8 a.m. And so God made an influencer."
That's the part of that article that almost put me over the edge.
God made an influencer. Oh, man. What else is going on in the world?
Not a whole lot.
The Super Bowl this weekend?
Yeah,
They still have that?
they do.
I thought maybe I missed it last week.
That was playoffs.
I'm higher on football than I've ever been in my life.
Maybe you're just are you higher than you ever been in your entire life, and it just happens to be with football?
You know, like I look at basketball and I just get more and more disinterested in that reality show. It seems like a reality show.
I like college
And
basketball.
I think baseball is trending that direction. You're either a home run hitter, you're going to strike out It's stupid. It's boring to watch. There's no manufactured runs. It's terrible. Football is the purest sport there is, at least in America.
What the?
Are you
Let me
talking
go on.
about Colin Kaepernick or what?
No, I wasn't talking about him at all. He's a good example though. He is. When these guys try to get a little too big for their britches, they'll fucking get rid of you. They don't care. We're trying to win a football game. That's the beauty of football. It's violent.
It is
hard.
the presence of the business aspect to the foosball.
There's no room in this sport for a personality. Yeah, if you're
To a degree, but yeah,
if you are a superstar, if you are, usually that's reserved for like quarterbacks and receivers, but if you're like a lineman and you're excellent at that, you can be a personality. But you know, the number, I don't know, but whereas like basketball, you would look at like the Warriors or something, like the number 3 guy, the third biggest star on the Warriors has his own image. And who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Part of it is like you see basketball players, like they don't wear helmets and shit. Like it's like different scale on that too.
Yeah, it's so individualistic.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's all
watch
it is.
baseball with the Yankees too. You got Aaron Judge. He's fine. Gary Sanchez, Urshela. Urshela's good. I like him. He doesn't make himself part of the conversation, but like Judge, this guy, he hits a home run or he strikes out. I fucking hate him.
Well, that's what they're letting him do. Yeah, that's their game plan, is to let him do that. I think it's bullshit. So it's a different style of baseball.
I think football is so pure still that you don't really get that. And
that's why I like college football even more than NFL. There's less even there. And college basketball especially.
I don't know. Like Antonio Brown is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
He was
for years, but that's just a good reminder. Like, you're not that good. We'll find somebody else.
There's always somebody coming up. Yeah, like later, dude. Yeah. Bye. Didn't have to be that way. He's just.
We don't need you. We're still gonna be good with. We're still gonna be just as good without you.
A bunch of morons at some point. I think all the placating they did this last couple of years for all the social justice bullshit really irritated the crap out of me. But that's another story for another day. Just saying.
I don't know. As far as the Super Bowl, I put $400 on the Bengals
to cover 4.5.
To cover
4.5.
Yep.
I think that's wise.
Yep. Hopefully.
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Probably gonna put more on it because
I like the commercials. That's my favorite part about the Super Bowl. I like the game. I do like football. There's no way around that. The commercials are usually cool. Halftime, I usually don't care. It's usually something weird and shitty. So it's still, for me, I think it's just a social event too. That's the fun part about Super Bowl.
I'm gonna watch it privately.
There you go. That's okay. It's okay. Rawls.
Did we lose Richard?
No, he had to poop. He's still here. I think he's just got a blind.
No, he's gone.
Yeah. We missed you at NCBA in Houston, Rawls. We'd like to have you there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday.
Oh, here it comes.
Have a role to play.
Well, I think you carved your role. B, you're making it right now. So yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I've been in the commissioner's office here a couple times this week, and he said that he saw you down there and enjoyed conversation, and
it was good, real good. We had a good time.
So So
And
yeah,
the rest of the Oregon delegation as well. It was good to see everybody again and say howdy to Sky and Penny and Tammy, of course, and John and Jane. So yeah, and Miss Shadler, saw her as well. So Mary, yeah. So of course she had smart alecky comments when she saw us in the bar in the lounge. So that was appreciated though. So she sat down and joined us. So what's that, Richard?
I was gonna say smart alecky, but probably had a few with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was accurate too, because there was me and my buddy and a few folks sitting around, and she just rolled and she's like, don't believe a word that guy says. And they're like, how the hell do you know Micah? And they're like, oh, that's obviously, because I instantly told them that she knew me. And so we had to connect all the dots. And yeah, the guy we were talking was like, holy shit, I never thought you guys would know each other. So it was pretty funny, but great to see her and hang out and spin a couple yarns. And it did the same thing with Sky and Penny too, as well. So those two kids cracked me up. So that's great. So, well, you were missed, Rawls. You should have been there. So let's put that on your potential list and drag the herd along and take it all in. Yeah,
someday maybe.
Should be in Houston every year.
Wasn't bad. No, not bad. I liked San Antonio. I think I like more than Houston actually, but that's just me. Not
Okay,
that you get to see.
Texas
It should just be in Texas. Okay, we can agree on that. Yeah, or Fort Worth, but not that it really.
I don't agree with that.
Matters where it's at, because you're most of the time you're in the building or on a bus or in a restaurant. So that's about it.
I don't know if I agree with it being in Texas every year, because I think it would do a lot of Texans good to have to leave their state.
It is entertaining. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, watching them wander around their taco hat and shotgun pants. But yeah, it was in. It moves around all the time. But I think it's going to be in New Orleans again coming up. Whoever recruits meetings for New Orleans does a hell of a job, because out of the past 10 meetings I've been to, I think 6 of them have been there. So not complaining, it's just anomaly, as they might say. So
I could go for New Orleans.
Not in Portland.
Say again, Richard?
Probably not going to be in Portland anytime soon.
That would be fun too. Yeah. Why not? New Orleans is fun though. Portland's fun. Indianapolis was good. That was Angus convention, I think. I don't know. They all blend together. But anyways, good time was had by all, and you were missed. So I'll leave it there. Yeah. So are you, Richard, you psycho. Can you imagine all of us running around NCBA at the same time? That would be fun. We'll bring Joel too. It would be good.
Did you run into Max ever?
No. I stopped by the booth like 4 times. 3 of the times he wasn't there. And the 5th time was up to his eyeballs at about 9 different people. So yeah. I missed him. We'll connect. So saw Kirk Pate, to see him. That was good. Saw a bunch of old salesmen. That was awesome. So
I called my tag guy. He was there.
Which one?
Data Tech.
Data Mars.
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah, I had a good meeting with Data Mars. That was fun. Yeah.
I said, you guys are, if you're at the Houston, you're absolutely worthless to me this week. I'll call you next week.
You're right too. Yeah. I hadn't been to a trade show in almost at least 2 years though. That was not, it was
I figured everybody would be a little bit off the hook. I figured that'd be the first big one everybody went to.
It was pretty good. I think there was, around 7,000 people there, maybe a little bit more. I think that's the number I heard. So
wow.
Yeah.
I would have guessed higher.
There was still travel, like there's a big storm rolled in. Yeah, that was part of the deal. I think part of it, people probably just tired. I don't know. That's the number I heard was about 7,000. So yeah, they usually have 8 to 10, I think.
The last big cattlemen's function I was at was in Nevada, and I bet they had 1,200 people.
Oh, I reckon.
But
yeah,
Nevada and California together. So
yeah, that's cool though. It was good, really fun. I had a blast. It was good to get out, see a bunch of folks I hadn't seen in a while, meet some new people obviously too, but just go, like there's just an air about any trade show, but then if it's NCBA, it's a different level of fun too. So yeah, it was time well spent indeed. So I liked it. Rumpf. Yeah.
Let's do our reach arounds now.
Easy now. We're beyond
let's
that.
Let's get this show started.
Yeah, let's kick this off. It's only been an hour and a half. Did anybody listen to the podcast we talked about last time?
I did.
I didn't. I listened to it when it first came out.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't re-listen to it, but
I listened to a bunch of
more
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is there's just the fact that Joe Rogan, they attempted a pretty significant takedown since we last met. You got Neil Young, Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, that kicked off even harder than last time, and some other groups apparently too. I don't know who all was there, and so that was kind of interesting. And then like 3 days ago, late last week, must have been late last week, wasn't it? Friday or Saturday? They released that compilation video every time Joe said the N-word on this podcast, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. So he had to put out an explanatory video on that, which I thought was interesting. But A, it was like, well, that's no secret. Like, it's on a podcast. Like, it's been published for a long time. B, you took no context with anything. See if that really stirs you up. Well, then there's plenty of footage of the current moron in the White House saying that same exact word in many a Senate hearing already. So I don't know what your point was besides trying to get him deplatformed because you don't like what he says or who he talks to. More importantly, it's not necessarily what Joe says, it's who he talks to. Again, that's the whole funny part about this first thing is like, this guy's spreading misinformation and telling lies. And like, he's asking questions and interviewing people, dude. Like, that's your fucking job. What you should be doing. Two, not pointing at him and talking about misinformation, which was one of the most freaking Nazi-like censorship things that ever come out of our word maker in our entire life. But sorry, I'm getting a little spun up here. Sons of bitches. Yeah.
I was feeling sorry for Joe at first, and then now I'm feeling sorry for myself because they really ruined the Joe Rogan show. It was nice when it was just under the radar. I guess it just got too big. And I mean, I've been listening to it since like episode 438 or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was this nice little community, and now it's like in the crosshairs. So I hope he gets these platforms from Spotify, and it goes back to being just sort of an underground thing, and everybody just leaves them the hell alone. Because I can guarantee you, with Joe I think that I can tell there's a change in the tenor of the podcast because now it's like walking on eggshells. It was a lot more fun when nobody cared. So
I think that'll go back to normal for one, or he'll go to a different platform, or he'll just stop it all together and go do something different. Because even he's like, I don't know how this thing got here. This is not what I planned. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it doesn't get. I see what you're saying too, Richard, but I hope he keeps talking too. I think maybe that's selfish that he can keep pointing out like what good, curious conversation can really be like. And I by no means agree with all the guests he's had on, or even things that he said, like, yeah, Michelle Obama would be a great president. Like, that made me pee a little bit when he said that. So I still think he needs to be there as a voice of like, and I think there should just be more people take over doing what he does, like just talking, interviewing interesting people, asking questions.
Everyone else in that same market is so overtly political. I don't think he is. It's frustrating to like hear people's opinion of him.
I haven't ever listened to him. I bet.
Because in my mind, his podcast doesn't strike me as political.
No, it's not. It's human.
It's like
it's human.
I would almost say it's like there's an anti-political bent to it. Like, fuck the politics. And all this controversy is, I think we get lost in the fact, like, people start analyzing his show and they start. I brought up we used to have word of the week. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And one of my words was, I brought it up for a reason, was because I think how it gets abused. And my word was factoid. And the factoid is, and the word factoid itself is a factoid. A factoid is when a lie, if you will, gets repeated so frequently that it becomes commonly thought of as the truth, and it's not true. And I think that is happening with Joe Rogan show. People talk about like, well, he's super racist. Like, you're forgetting the underlying motivation of the attacks on his show is the fact that he has 3-hour conversations with people, and not everything's boiled down to the talking point. You know, like
The whole point about it.
on all the news shows or whatever article you read, it's just the highlights, and the expert's going to be quoted. Like, I don't want you to run. Joe Rogan's not a journalist, but
He's a lot closer than most people claim him to be.
Maybe a journalist is phase 1, you talk to your subject. Phase 2, you write about it. What I don't like is the fucker that writes about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Rogan lets us just hear phase 1.
Yes, precisely.
I can be my own journalist. I can take from this what I think is important. And I don't need the fucking 24-year-old they, them person that studied journalism at Columbia, and they have the credentials to tell me what I need to know. I want to hear directly.
I don't need any
from the
filters.
source.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he does in a lot of cases.
That's all he
especially
does.
with people like Peter McCullough and Robert Malone.
Just ask him questions. Tell me your
Those
story.
people-
Tell me who you are. What's going on, brother? Yeah,
He's not a journalist, but he's doing half of the journalist
he's
job.
doing way more in the journalism world than most people who claim to be a journalist
And
are.
there's so much transparency, and we get to actually hear it from their mouth, and not the journalist turn around and be like, and just select a quote from
Well,
a 2-hour
I don't think
conversation.
he has an agenda when he goes into a conversation either. It's really just asking questions and seeing where it goes. Like the last one, Rawls, have you ever listened to Rogan much at all? Do you listen to podcasts very often? It's highly entertaining. Jordan Peterson was on there a couple weeks ago. It's like a 4-hour conversation. And so the funny thing is, like, Rogan started to talk about how he preps for a show because Jordan asked him that. And he's like, yeah, I've been reading these books about climate change because I got a climate change dude going on. And next thing you know, it's like an hour or an hour and a half later, and Jordan's lecturing him on about climate and environment and people and how it's bullshit. And like, that's how the whole thing started off. But Rogan's is like, yeah, I'm reading books about climate because I'm getting ready for a climate duty to come on. And so his guest, who's going to talk about other stuff, totally runs down that road and just goes with it. But like, if he was like had like an agenda of things he wanted to touch on, like that would never happen. Like he would, but he just goes in for a conversation. I think he doesn't have any place he wants to get. He just wants to talk to folks about who they are, what their credentials are, what their opinion is on stuff, and he just asks questions and let it go. And I think that's the cool thing in my mind. And he has comedians on, he has his friends on, he has Ted Nugent on, he has anybody that almost he can get a hold of. I mean, Ron White, like all these random people.
The Ted Nugent one was like a live car wreck happening in slow motion in front of you.
I haven't listened to it yet. I listened to an older one a few years ago. He had Ted on there before. I haven't listened to the most recent one though.
Oh, I love Ted Nugent. He is a trip. He lives in a different dimension.
He does.
Anyway,
Uncle Ted.
The thing I like about Rogan is not the controversial. I like the topical ones. I mean, they're good, but the ones I look forward to are Jordan Peterson, Duncan Russell, Jocko Willens, Tom Segura. Tom Papa is one of his guests. And that guy talks about nothing the entire time, and it's hilarious.
Tom Papa?
Then, Tom Papa, he's hilarious. And then like Randall Carlton was on, and that's fascinating. And who's the other? The Win Hoff one's still one of the best interviews ever. And then the Anthony Bourdain one was great.
Definitely.
And, so really, that's why I'm sort of sad that it's become this political thing and it's all over the news, is because really the things I like about best about the Rogan ones are not the topical ones. It's just the like. I can't wait every time I see Jordan Peterson's going to be on.
Oh,
Like
dude,
it's been
yeah.
too long, and then Duncan Trussell. That guy's.
Just
Oh, yeah,
cosmic, dude.
My other favorite one, just for the pure entertainment factor, is Alex Jones. Jesus Christ!
Well, those two
It's
going back and
so-
forth. Yeah.
It's such a fun thing to listen to.
Yeah.
I've been on a flight for 5 hours and like I'm just gonna listen to Alex Jones or Rogan.
Yeah.
Like I don't want this to end. This guy's insane. But he's
Oh,
also
Rawls,
not
we
that
got to get you
insane.
podcasting, Rawls. We got to get you downloading, man. You'll be dying laughing. Yeah, it's just good to have on in the background when you're doing something. It's damn entertaining. Yeah.
Nobody can listen to Alex Jones anymore. It's crazy. I mean, he is himself a mentally unstable person, I think, but
Don't
he's
you
been
think
right.
society drove him about half crazy though? Like,
Yeah, but he's right about a lot of
that's
stuff.
the thing is like, for forever he says something and oh, you're crazy, you're full of shit. 2 years later, I'll be damned. Yeah, seems like a lot of it. So
Alex knew about that plane that flew to that island with that guy.
yeah, that one time or those many times. Yeah, it's
I like when they talk about DMT. I really want to try DMT and have that experience.
Who was that talking about that just on the recent episode? I can't remember who it was. I think it was.
They talk about DMT on every episode.
Well, there's a good point.
Yeah,
that's for
I
sure.
feel like they talked about it on Jordan Peterson's episode. And
there was another guy too, but anyway, yeah, it was fun because
there's a place in my neighborhood that has it. I think I'm gonna go try it.
It's what's it stand for again? It's like a psychedelic kind of shit, isn't it? It's like concentrated mushroom or something, or what is it?
I don't know what DMT stands for. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's
a psychedelic.
It's a guided thing. You go in there and
yeah.
I have a friend whose DMT guy is here in my neighborhood, and he asked me. He told me if I'm interested, set it up. But you have a guide, and you go in there, and they administer it to you, and they stay with you the entire time. I've just heard it's such a incredible experience. I just want to do it. Like you can.
Well, that's right.
Experiences in your life.
It's synthetic ayahuasca.
What's that?
It's synthetic ayahuasca, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what him and Jordan were talking about. Like people a long time ago taking it and seeing like the DNA helix and stuff, or like it was just like some trippy stuff. Yeah. It's squirrely. It'll make your brain kind of rumble for sure.
Well, it can help you figure out what's wrong with your life and why it's wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of beautiful to me.
We'll see what happens. Well, keep us posted, Joel. Keep us posted.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I'll crowdfund it. If everybody gives me $1, I'll do it.
So you want $4, $3? Oh, everybody. I got you. Yeah. Ross, anything new and exciting besides Kevin and a little one and wolves and neighbors and snow, melt stuff?
No, not really. I was scheduled to testify before an Oregon House committee on well, Joel actually brought it up earlier in a podcast on the funding to go back to depredations and pay producers for losses and whatnot. And I was scheduled to testify, but I was one of the few at the end that they ran out of time. I went in Monday, and there were 10 of us that didn't get to go Monday, and so they were going to put us on the back end of another bill discussion they had, and testify today. And the only 2 of us didn't get to testify in total. So, but that was interesting just to listen to the testimonials and all the opposition that comes from the enviros and whatnot. And
It's interesting. Yeah.
Funny, the
Yeah.
guy that shot the wolf didn't get to testify.
yeah, well, they don't want to hear the truth.
You still get to submit written testimony as well, don't you?
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that politics are funny. Sometimes it doesn't matter what you say. There's people that just aren't gonna listen to sense. And we had a lot of really good testimonials in the column for the bill. So, and even one of the representatives was mentioned that the testimony of the opposition goes completely against facts that have been laid out from the ODA in testimony, and what they do with that at that point is their decision. But I don't want it to seem like as a cattleman we're sitting here saying we have our hand out wanting something. However, on a depredation that led up to me killing that wolf, just going through some of the numbers, lost 2 calves, so there's 900 a piece for the year. All of my time doing non-lethal measures, I was going out there 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon every day for 3 weeks after that. All my time leading up to it, and then all my time doctoring one of those calves for 2.5 months on a daily basis, just to keep it healthy and get it back on its feet. And hopefully, you don't give up on them. You got to try to save them. And then to come back with that particular herd of cattle came in and had a open rate in the fall. Ordinarily, I see somewhere between 5 and 7%. That set of cows was at 13 on that year. So I'm seeing an extra 6 head of cattle that come in that I'm gonna have to cull, and those are 6 calves for the following year. So your conception rates, the weaning weights were 20 pounds off on that set of cows that year due to the stress and the movement during the period when the wolves are in there. So there's a lot of losses that we sustain that are not.
They're not quantified for sure on that.
They're not quantified, and they're not directly looked at. They're looking at was it a loss? And although they have what they call lost or not found cattle that they're trying to put in, and in a lot of programs that are turned out in this bigger country, that has been an issue. Idaho just did a study not that long ago that for only 1 in 8 depredations are actually found. So there's a lot of data coming in there that people are sustaining losses that they don't even know about from these animals.
Are they compensating you for the price of the animal that you could sell it at market?
No. I mean,
No,
ideally,
it's less than that, then.
Yeah, it's less than that. So 70% of the compensation is supposed to go towards preventative or non-lethal measures taken to try to avoid conflict between the livestock and the wolves, and then 30% of the funds are going towards actual depredations and losses. So it's the majority of the money that they're asking for, would be going towards non-lethal measures, and which would be my presence out there, paying me for my time to be out there to prevent this from happening. So it's $1 million seems like a lot, when it comes out of taxpayer dollars, but the sheer losses that we've incurred in the industry, I hesitate to even attempt to quantify the numbers of, since the inception of wolves in Oregon, what the losses have been that have been sustained within the Cattlemen's Association. I mean, it's
well, there's also just a single year deal too, isn't that right? Like, so you lost a calf, could have been a heifer. If it was a heifer, like she might have stayed in your herd. Like, do you quantify that out as well or not?
Well, absolutely. And of those cows that came in off of that particular pasture that year, they were all young running age cows, 4, 5, and 6 year olds. I've got another 4 or 5 years in those cows. So if that event wouldn't have happened, potentially I would have been able to take those cattle for another 4 or 5 years and raise calves on them. Now I got to cull them, lose money for 2 years while I'm replacing them, and then get back in the game. So there's a lot of underlying numbers that are not at the surface, and that's what ultimately we're trying to bring to the plate here. Because everybody looks at it, oh, so you had one calf killed. Well,
Yeah,
no,
but you think about what that calf would bring back to the herd. If you have her for 8 years and she has 7
Exactly.
calves and half of them are heifers, and then those are going to have calves in those years also, like that extrapolates out quickly, and that's definitely not compensated.
No, and that's where the missing livestock portion of the funding is. It garners a lot of controversy because they don't believe, that anybody could say they're missing livestock. That allows for fraudulent behavior. Well, not really, because we at a county level, so that money gets dispersed out into the county level, and it's dispersed through the counties.
Mm-hmm.
On our panel of people who, I'll give you an instance. 2 of the folks that are on the panel, one of them is one of our county commissioners, Susan Roberts. She does a fantastic job at going through things with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that those funds are not neglectful and they're going to weather. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we've got a guy named Wally Sykes, who is an enviro guy from the get-go and is completely anti-livestock, pro-wolf. And he actually was on to testify at this hearing as an opposition. And so we've got members of both communities that are out there going in, looking at the dollars and where they're going and what the reasoning is. They read through all the evidence, they go through it all and give it out accordingly. Well, there's the opposition believes that there's fraudulent behavior in the way that the money's administered, and it's just one more roadblock to try to get livestock producers off the land. But
that's also, yeah.
But
it strikes me as like it's a purpose of unions, right? You probably have a aversion to the whole idea of unionizing, but why can't producers like you and Richard have your own union? Because it seems to me like these dictates come down from above, whatever form, and ancillary issues that affect you. You just don't have an effective collective organization in place to lobby for your interests.
Yes and no. I mean,
like you gotta kind of have to play their fucking stupid game, almost, like, to get this to stop. I don't know.
You throw it that one, Micah.
Well, in essence, that's what the Cattlemen's Association is. I think Joel takes the place of that union to a degree, both county, state, and then a national level is part of it. Now, it's not exactly.
They're probably so
quantified.
heavily influenced by the big guys, right?
No, they're directly report to their constituents. So NCBA, that's a whole different animal because that's.
Well, I don't know anything about it, and I think you're wrong.
Well, that's good. That's a solid opinion. That sounds. At least you admit that. Most people would not say that out loud, but yeah. So that's the advocacy groups is what takes the place of that. So, but I think it could be stronger too.
I would say that it's set up for a corrupt system anyways. So even the NC is a lobbying group. Which
that's I don't put that in with county and state cattlemen's associations.
No, I was just saying the whole system is broken.
Oh yeah, shit, Earl. Every way you look at it, yeah.
And the problem with agriculture is we're 1.8% of the population, so we can jump up and down and yell as loud as we want, but it takes less than 2% to drown us out. And so
see, there's
more people.
downside.
There's more people that are vegans in the United States than are raising food.
So yeah, that's what I like. Not to think back too far, but like I don't know, like 4th or 5th grade, I was like, why don't we all just go on strike and not sell anything for like a year? Like, I think that's the backbone of the end thought of like the Canadian things. He's like, our trucks ain't hauling none of your shit anywhere. So have fun. And if I think if, to Joel's point, if it was unionized and like we're going on strike, and yeah, nobody's selling cows or wheat or shit to get your head out of your ass, that would change things. But I think there's that, like I've always said, like our greatest strength is the independent spirit, and sometimes that's one of the greatest weaknesses also. But yeah, if there was a strike on natural resources, like, and I'm not saying it won't ever happen, but that would shake shit up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I think when people saw a little bit of that this year, when the shelves were empty at the store for some way, shape, or form, everybody suddenly like, I want to know somewhere I can buy my food directly. I don't think some people realized how close we are to that all the time, but I don't think
not
it's
just
that
that.
crazy.
The transit system just slightly gets fucked up. It's like, oh wait, this is complicated.
But if it was intentional and everybody just said, all right, kids, huddle up.
Yeah, if at the source, if you guys, Richard and Raleigh, and everybody liked them, if they were just like, I'm striking, man, you guys by the balls.
That'd be a massive GoFundMe project to get kicked off, wouldn't it?
No, you can't do that anymore.
No, we'll create our own funding platform first.
Yeah.
And then we'll kick it off. Where so like we're gonna raise enough money so you don't have to sell your crop for 6 months or a year. And we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I'll be openly mocking anybody that starts a GoFundMe page from now on.
Me too. God, that is one of the most absolutely tears my soul and my brain in half that they could even say that out loud and do it.
That's not their first offense. That's not their first offense.
Not at all. No, not at all.
They had a Kyle
Rittenhouse
thing.
Yeah.
But
we
they
don't
at
agree with
least
that.
gave
So
they at least gave the money back to those people. This time they tried to take it and give it to Canada.
Other things. And you're like, did you hear about that, Rawls?
I've just caught blurbs.
So they were, GoFundMe's like this fundraising platform. So they're raising money for all these truckers that are like going to take time off. They're going to be needing fuel. They're going to be like, they raised like almost $10 million. And then GoFundMe's like, these guys are, I don't know what they called them, fringe, or they called them
insurrectionists.
That wasn't that I word that fires me up. It was something about being, were they mean? Were they violent? Something. Anyways, they said, we can't support this. We're going to disperse this money. The people from all over had sent in to support these people, and they're like,
no. They said approved charities.
Yeah. People are like, excuse me. No, we're going to shove an umbrella up your ass and open it if you think that's what you're going to do. Yeah. So, yeah, it almost got Western quick, fast, and in a hurry. So
did the money get to the truckers?
As far as I know, yes, it got. Did they? They still hold it?
Nope.
I thought they went. I thought they released it.
Has not been released yet.
Oh, you're shitting.
They.
I thought they did.
At phase 1, they said, we're not going to give this to them. We're going to give it to a charity of our choice. 2 is like, you can fill out this form and we'll refund it. 3, okay, we're just going to give it back to you guys. So they just automatically return the money, which should have been, if you're not going to deliver it like your fucking company is supposed to do, that's why it exists. Give it back to us. So they gave it back to them. But the problem is that what you can't trust a company like that ever again.
No.
I mean, they deserve zero trust in the people. I will never give to GoFundMe again in my life. I've probably donated 10 times to different things.
Did they send the money back to the donors? Is that what they ended up doing?
Yeah, they ultimately gave it back to people.
Back to the donors, though, but not necessarily where the donors wanted to go. So then they had to go find another platform and start over. There was another one that said, we'll handle your money and not be bullshit about it. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it's some like Christian deal or something.
Christian funding platform.
Yeah. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who questioned whether there is a double standard given past fundraisers for legal funds in defense of Antifa members and criminal protesters. Yeah. So.
It's interesting that, dude, like all these states in the last 2 days, New York included, they get rid of the mask mandate starting tomorrow.
Mhm.
I think
Well,
the
yeah,
vaccine thing goes with it.
When's the next election?
Yeah, it's the science has
Exactly.
changed, Raleigh. The science has changed. That's
Well,
the phrase.
the State of the Union is on March 1st. And I
Oh.
think
Yeah, but the White House doesn't change their policy, and New York still has masks for kids
Could you imagine
in
being
schools.
a Democrat trying to keep your seat right now for the next election?
I know. The thing is, Americans have incredibly short memories. I hope
your parachute.
this stays with, and I think they done fuck themselves. Is what I'm thinking.
I
That's
think
what I'm
it'll
really
stay.
hoping.
I think it'll
Oh,
stay
you
with
think
people.
they're gonna? You think?
Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say, I think this is the last 2 years is going to stick in people's minds the same way 9/11 sticks in people's minds.
Or maybe
And
worse.
yeah,
I hope worse. I hope it stays more.
I don't think people will forget. I think the pendulum theory, meaning like you guys know what that is, but it's gonna swing so hard, right? And I don't think it's gonna be that way for a while. I can't imagine like anytime somebody starts campaigning for the left, it's gonna be super easy for at least 10 years to be like, you guys are fucking crazy. Why should we believe anything you say? All you guys do is bitch about fucking racism, and you're gonna take the first chance you get to slap a fucking mask on little kids who can't stand up for themselves. You guys are criminals. You guys are groomers. You guys are terrible people.
Well, they're
Go
just
fuck
as
yourself.
bad. They're just as bad on the right, and I hope whatever new blood they get to come in there on the right.
Just don't fuck it up.
I just hope the new blood comes in there and cleans house on the right too.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. That's my biggest fear is they're going to get a chance to do what should be done in a civil way, and they're going to just probably sit on their dick. That's my fear.
Yeah, there's a lot of red state governors that had their own little mandate programs, right?
Yeah.
Like Louisiana.
Abbott's in big trouble in Texas.
What's that, Richard?
Abbott's in big trouble in Texas, and they're not going to get any smarter in the next 2 years.
No, that's the thing.
They're pretty dumb.
The writing is so clear on the wall of what you need to do to be successful. Like the Virginia governor, other people, DeSantis, like him or not, Trump, like was just like, it's about the citizens of my country and my state come first. Number one, what's wrong with that? You know, again, we've said it 1,000 times, but you can't preach to me about biosecurity in other countries when the freaking bottom of this country is open as a prom queen's legs and shit's just rolling in and getting stuffed all around the country. And you're talking to me about vaccines? Seriously? You know, about voter fraud? Yeah, I think it's just asinine. So I think
it's worse than that. Why should any American have any respect for the law if the leaders that don't have any, like Biden gets away with shipping people all over the country in planes? I could give two shits if they want to file me for taxes or tax evasion. Yeah, because if you can't, if the people at the top aren't held accountable, and everybody knows there's the Hunter Biden story is so freaking wicked and twisted that if somebody doesn't go to jail for that, there's no law in this country. And
I totally agree.
And I think that every time these things go one thing, it's just unraveling the fabric of the country. But before we end, I have to talk about the news thing that really pissed me off this week. And
That's
I think a lot of people missed it. So, do we want to finish this one, or do you want to go to mine?
Go to yours. You can't start off like that and then just drop your pants. Like, go, Maynard, go.
Has anybody seen the ass screwing that Elon Musk got this week?
No.
Is anybody familiar with it?
No.
The what?
You know, he lost a ton of money, didn't he?
No. All of a sudden, the Skylink satellites are crowding the sky too much, and they want him to stop putting them up in the air in the.
Oh, good fucking luck with that.
Anyways, so here's the two things that are different about Skylink is the government doesn't have any control over.
Exactly.
Its own independent network that
Mhm.
they'd have our government would actually physically have to hack into, which I think would be illegal. Anyways, and the other thing is Elon Musk is not in the favor of the administration. So, like, he didn't get invited to the electric vehicle conference, the summit with all the guys that making electric vehicles. Like the number one electric vehicle maker in the country, not invited to the White House to talk about electric vehicles. Anyways, so everything that's happening to Elon Musk is purely political, but I think that the real thing that we missed is that the government woke up to the fact that Skylink is not something that they can control. It's not an internet that they control. So like a company like Spotify could exist separately on Skylink. So we could actually have companies that existed on Skylink that didn't exist on the regular internet.
Yeah.
And so if you were going to go to a world where there was no censoring, what Elon Musk was creating was something that was completely untouchable by any government in the United States and a complete free flow of information. And all of a sudden, the boys in Washington woke up and thought, oh, fuck. We just got in-run by a guy that makes electric calls and shoots rockets into the sky. They weren't even paying attention to what was going on with the satellites.
Yeah, that's why they are so adamant at criticizing guys like Elon Musk specifically and Joe Rogan specifically, but then all the people like that and everybody that listens to them. And then on top of that, you got they're very critical of Bitcoin, decentralized currency.
They're shooting themselves in the dick.
Like clearly, we're on the right track.
Exactly. They don't like it. So how can they stop Elon, Richard?
Well, because they can control what goes into space. So all of a sudden,
how is that possible though? Like they don't own space.
You should have seen. If you were watching the rollout of YouTube videos and influencers who obviously got paid, all of a sudden there was on Monday, starting Monday morning, going through today, you'll see an increase of media personalities and influencers talking about how bad all the Starlink satellites in the space are and how we need to start to whittle them back and stop Elon Musk from putting any more in because we won't be able to see the asteroids coming.
So from a strictly idiotic point of view, wouldn't you want more shit in space so asteroids would hit it first?
No. What?
I mean,
no. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Micah.
And again, we have such short memories. Like, and if Elon is the definition of fuck you money. Like when they thought up that term, they didn't even know about Elon yet, but that's what he is. Like that's the beautiful thing.
I think those Elon Musk, at least, I don't know if the first generation, because they're going to have to be, it's over a period of many years, and they're always going to have to be replaced as they mature.
Either one.
Like they have telescopes on them themselves. They can peer out for your fucking asteroid. Richard, I heard that same criticism
That's
about
so funny.
like we're not.
So
And it was so ridiculous.
Like anybody cares. Again, like they can't stop him. Like you can launch your own rockets into space.
The problem is, I think they can stop these people. That's what scares me.
How?
They can stop. How? I don't know. They could easily just say you can't. They could. Okay, so they violate all of our rights. And like, you can't do this. We're saying that right now. We're not going to let you do it. So then it goes to the courts, and the courts say
the courts, like, it's a private vehicle.
Yeah, but they can ignore the courts. So what happens?
And they can ignore them. Like, I have my private security. You can go pound sand. You're not coming on my rocket pad. Who the fuck are you?
So the Supreme Court says you can't shoot down these rockets. Biden can ignore that.
Yeah, good luck. You can do it once. Enjoy that. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they can do it.
My point being, like, do it once, see what happens. Like, literally shot civilians out of the sky because you didn't like it. Like, there's gonna be people on it. I would goddamn sure make sure there's people on it. Like, I just don't understand why they say, like, you can't do that. Like,
I mean,
if I have a little old airstrip in my little plane, you can't keep me from taking off.
fucking George Bush and Dick Cheney had us go into Iraq under
Now you're just drunk and talking ridiculous. Like, where does this come from?
just completely fabricated circumstances. There was like, so we allowed it, and everyone was just like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." There's no repercussion.
That's part of the problem. There's no repercussion with any of these idiots when they're breaking the law, or Hunter, all the stuff that Biden's done, or Hunter's done, or etc. But
Micah, that's my point. So
I know,
what's going to
so-
stop them from completely violating all of our
I think
rights?
all
have
the
no
assholes around the world, just like us, saying "fuck that." No.
I think turns out it's a little easier than everybody thought.
Well, we just proved
In-
that the past
in
2 years.
America
That's no doubt. The past 2 years have
to
proven
do
that
this.
unequivocally, that half the people are willing to sit there with their dick in their hand and not do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's sad. I'm saying, like,
It's
there's
possible.
what's legal and then there's what they're going to do anyways. That's two different stories.
I wouldn't even say it's possible. It's easy.
Yes. Thanks for stirring that one up, Bradbury. Where'd you go, Richard?
I didn't want it to fly under the radar. I thought it was important.
No, I think it's important. I had not heard about that yet. So I heard like he'd lost some money in stock or something, but that might have been the week before. I don't know. Does anybody have a entertainment thing we should talk about?
I thought we were talking about Lindsay.
That was last week, a-hole.
For next week. For
Next time.
Well, we never talked about it on this episode.
Doesn't fucking matter. We talked about everything else. Yeah, so that ship sailed. Yeah, nobody watched it anyways, so it doesn't matter.
I don't
I
know.
listened to about 1,700 Rogan podcasts driving to Houston and back, but that's a different story.
I think we need a 80s movie from Raleigh over here.
Senior bars.
Like, let's get back to the fun stuff, not like
Not the
Back in
4-hour
the
Jordan
days when we used
Peterson
to have, like,
podcast.
back in the days when we used to have like Short Circuit and Police Academy and
Revenge of the
shit like
Nerds.
that.
Revenge of the Nerds is good. Yeah. That's a story about some young underdogs coming together in a coming of age story.
probably like Top Gun. I think that was one of his.
Yeah, because eventually it wasn't Top Gun supposed to come out last summer? Did they delay it again?
Oh no, I was thinking Iron Eagle. That's what.
Oh, that
Top
we
Gun-
suffered. We suffered
Yeah,
through Iron Eagle. Yeah,
Top Gun 2 is coming out. I think in like May. It's been delayed 2 years.
I think
Can't
so.
wait for that to come out. It's gonna be so good.
It'll be good. The new Ghostbusters
My-
finally came out. I haven't seen that yet.
I
I
watched it.
I vote Tin Cup.
Oh
No, I'm gonna veto it.
Do we have veto power? We could just bitch about it if we have actual veto power. I'm not gonna watch it then. Screw you guys. Yeah.
This is like we are a microcosm of the United States
Oh,
government.
so it's only
Can he do
treated.
that?
So
Can he do
exactly.
that?
Like they just did. Well, fuck. Okay, then apparently so. Yeah.
One I've been wanting to watch, I haven't gone back to watch yet, is PCU.
Oh Jesus. What's that guy doing a thesis on that at any given time on TV there's such and such on TV? I can't remember
James
what.
Caan is on TV.
Is it James Caan? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. We might as well do Van Wilder then instead of PC. Well, PCU is not bad. Yeah. Rawls, thoughts? We could do a back to school too. That was a good one.
Oh hell!
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
back.
know. Have we done Caddyshack?
I don't know. Doesn't mean we can't do it again. You know,
I-
got that going for you.
I
Yeah.
figured one of us would remember if
Which
we'd
is
done
nice.
that one.
We
I
have
think we
done
have.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
You know, which is nice.
Whatever comes. handy,
what do you watch on a typical night, Holly? Use
Weather Channel.
Yeah, not a lot.
Bachelor?
Usually. Try to watch the market report in the morning.
Mhm.
But,
at nighttime, you turn on the TV and you guys flip around. What do you guys watch? What do you go to? Go to Netflix, go to HBO Max, you go
Bachelor.
to Disney Plus. What are
I
you
don't
looking
know.
at?
Depends on if I get home in time. Sometimes I try to watch some news. There's I used to watch the Cowboy Channel a little bit.
I like
but
I like
got
how
tired of
Raleigh's like,
rodeo.
fuck, I missed the news.
Yeah, I used to try to watch the Cowboy Channel, but I got tired of watching rodeo. That gets old.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll put on Amazon and see what's on there to watch if there's anything updated.
Usually no.
It just depends on if they have updates.
Did
to
you
that, so.
what about that? Did we talk about that movie you recommended, Joel, Old Henry? Did we ever talk about that?
We never talked about it on here. I recommend it. Micah, you responded. Richard Raleigh. They did not even acknowledge it, but it's fantastic.
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Fantastic movie.
Is it on Netflix now?
I don't know if it's on Netflix. I rented it. I had to pay money on Amazon, but really good.
It.
Just
I liked it.
Fucking good.
I'm going to watch it again because the first time you miss some things that make sense when you see the end of it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you can't talk about. Don't look it up. Don't read about it.
Just watch it.
You just have to watch it. Yeah. It's going to ruin it if you read about it.
Yeah,
that works for me. I'll watch that.
I would recommend Old Henry. Yeah, it's good.
There's not, the best part is there's no girls in it at all.
There might be a mare for a horse, but you're right, Joel.
They mention there's only a mention of one woman in the whole movie, and she's dead.
She's dead. Yeah. Huh. I like the uncle. Reminds me of Uncle Buckwheat, Rawls and Richard. Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
Who's in
that's
it?
That's the other one. The other Westons nominated for Oscars. Who's in it? I don't know their names.
Trace Adkins, the country singer, is actually the uncle.
Yeah, Trace Adkins is in it. And then God, there's another famous actor who's like the villain. What's his name?
Villain? Oh, like the bad dude?
The bad guy, yeah.
So Tim Blake Nelson's like the main dude, which will surprise you, but he does a tremendous job. And it makes so much sense when you figure out what's going on. Stephen Dorff is the bad dude.
Yeah,
he does a great job too. Yeah. Great job. Most everybody else, no fucking idea who they are. I didn't even know who the director was. Patsy Panzarelli, which sounds fake.
I was thinking that would be an Oscar movie, but maybe it's a 2022 Oscar.
It has to be.
21 Oscars came out. They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here's the synopsis on the IMDb. An action western about a farmer who takes in an injured man with a satchel of cash. When a posse comes for the money, he must decide who to trust. Defending a siege, he reveals a gunslinging talent, calling his true identity into question. It's pretty
Sounds
cool.
like 310 to Yuma in reverse.
Kinda, yeah. But you'll have this
310 to Yuma. It's way better.
You'll be at an epiphany point where you're like, oh, Falcon. Yeah. So it's cool. I like it. I liked it much. So,
all right. That works for me. I like good Western.
Yeah. What was it on?
I had
it
to
on
rent
Netflix?
it on Amazon. It's not for free. It costs $6 or $5.
Where's it at now? It might be on Amazon, but it was coming to other platforms though, because I bought it on iTunes.
Oh.
I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can buy it on Apple and all this stuff, but
That's called iTunes. Yeah.
you have to rent it. It's not for free on the thing.
It might be on Netflix. I'll track it down for you, balls.
Okay.
I liked it so much I recommended it to Uncle Buckwheat, and I am very careful about which movies I tell him to watch because he will find me and kill me if he doesn't.
Is he going to be able to find a VHS for it?
Believe it or not, he's got internet and pay-per-view. So yeah. I had to talk to the girlfriend and she's like, I can find it, don't worry. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So.
Like it's honestly one of those movies you get excited about. I'm like, this is a good movie.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna watch it again.
Just most of the shit they make. It's
it's just that. Stupid. It's shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'm gonna watch it again. I'm excited.
I watched a fun one. on Netflix. Sorry, Joel, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but
Oh, he was just rambling.
The Netflix one about Sean Payton's year that he was suspended and going back.
Oh,
and
I haven't
coaching.
seen that yet because I had Kevin James playing Sean Payton and like coaching like Pee Wee football, and I was like,
Oh, that's a true story.
yeah, was it good?
Yeah, was it? Well, I mean, it's a Happy Madison production,
Okay.
so don't like expect
All right, that's
high
not
quality,
bad.
but it's
If it's
it's
Happy
entertaining,
Madison, I'll probably watch it then. Yeah.
and it's fun. It's fun,
Okay, that's fine.
and it's got that quirky little Adam Sandler crap in it. So
That's what I said. If it's a Happy Madison, I'm in. Yeah, that's okay. If it was like a feel good, blah blah blah, then I was going to be out. But yeah, because he got
I would
suspended
say-
for Bountygate. Yeah.
yeah, I would say it's loosely based on a true story, but it's
Yeah.
it's an entertaining, fun little
Okay.
Netflix. Yeah.
I'm in. Sounds good. Balls, you find it yet?
Mm.
Okay. Nothing else.
No.
I'll give you my Apple login or something. You can watch it.
Oh hell, I'm not worried. I'm sure it's on Amazon here somewhere.
It's somewhere. Yeah. It's worth buying. Yeah, I'll put it that way. So well, should we finish with our happy ending?
Yep.
How can we say no to that? Joel, kick us off, you psycho.
Man, did I talk about this earlier? I went bowling.
Yeah.
I told
You
you
did.
about how sore I am.
You didn't mention
Jesus.
that, no. Because
My whole
Yeah.
body.
for
I haven't
bowling,
used- yeah, I haven't
It
used
happens.
those muscles in a long time. My forearm is killing me, and my right butt
Oh.
cheek.
COVID.
Huh?
It's got to be COVID.
again,
No,
you're
it's
just getting
from,
old.
it's,
Joel.
no, it's physical activity.
You're getting old. Yeah, exactly. That your body did not expect that. It's going to revolt.
If you have good form like I do,
Well, there
with
is that.
bowling,
That puts a lot of stress on the.
yeah, it's not easy, guys. I guess I gotta work out for it.
We just had a reacher send in a screenshot of their download speed from Starlink right now. It's 122 megabytes. That's pretty damn good.
Is that good? I don't know what that means.
Pretty good. You need about 10 to stream or 15. So yeah, that's pretty damn good. I'm still on the waiting list to get mine. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, what did I do? I don't know.
You cooked a damn
Lots of
good
good
steak.
things, man.
Yeah,
I made
you
a good
cooked a damn
steak
good steak.
tonight. I went to get coffee the other morning. Best thing of the week. Okay, I went to get coffee the other morning, and I went to Dunkin' Donuts because I wanted a donut. So I got a donut too. I'm walking back, and this guy Josh, who I met at the bar. I was playing darts with him the other night. He walked by. I said hi to him, and then I walk another 20 feet, and then I see Dan, who's a old guy that I talked to at the bar across the street quite a bit. And then I walk another 30 feet and see the bartender from the Double Windsor says hello to
Ooh,
me.
I like that place. That sounds good.
So it's not often I walk anywhere and somebody says hi to me. And then suddenly
That's
one
true,
morning,
especially there. Yeah.
three people said hi to me.
And get this little community starting to emerge. That's pretty cool.
And then I was at the bar tonight. So I'm sitting at the bar, just talking to the lady next to me. And then the girl 2 seats down, she says, you live in my building. So I'm talking to her. And then suddenly I'm surrounded by 5 people all talking to me. It was like a nice community. It doesn't happen very often here.
It's growing, brother. Yeah.
Have a good night.
I'm digging it. Rawls, happy ending from you there, Squirrely Man.
Oh, calving season's going, I guess. It's kind of one of those things that you look forward to and dread all at the same time. So
Yeah. As soon as you get here, the sooner it's over with, and then you can go on to it again.
yeah, there's so many elements that can cater to a train wreck, and weather being the biggest one. So you're kind of you find yourself definitely at the mercy of Mother Nature, and so it's exciting. And
She's a vengeful wench too, most of the time.
yeah, so, just
What do you think is what's your easiest month? Because you always got some shit going on. You're like, oh, now we're having calves. Now I gotta sell the fucking calves. Now I gotta grow the grass. Now I have to cut the fucking grass.
Catching on, Joel. You're catching on.
no,
When do you get a minute?
November probably kind of slows down before we start feeding in December, and but this year we decided to go ahead and have a child then, so that wasn't exactly slow this year. So, but it tends to later in the fall like that, seems to be the slowest. So
Next time you should calve your wife closer to in line with.
it was actually, I was really glad the timing on that, because I got to really get involved and enjoy the entire process there when it was important. So that was good timing.
Not just the beginning, Joel, the entire process. Yeah.
It's like, what's the joke there? I gotta enjoy the entire process.
Yeah. So
starting from
best 7 minutes of the past year, I might say. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but November is definitely the time probably we have a chance to catch a breath of air. So
Beautiful.
mm-hmm.
Richard, happy ending me.
video, Richard. Can't see you.
Not really complaining, but yeah.
Sorry.
We say, oh, like you don't realize that you're not on the screen?
No, I was upstairs in my room, and then
kinky.
my wife kicked me out of here so she could go to bed. So forgot to change my screen on.
It's okay. Let's see for one last moment. There he is. I am all that is man.
We started preschool last week.
How'd you do?
Congratulations.
I only forgot the kid the second day. So, got a call from the school, like, are you gonna come get your child? Like, yes.
We have your child. What do you want? Is it money? Cows? No, he's at school. Oh shit, I'll be right there. Yeah.
Day 2, you already forget. It's amazing.
So quiet.
Could get used to this.
So you guys almost got a tour of the Adele house, because about 3 days a week out there. I almost stayed out there tonight, but
Oh, yeah.
he went to California, so we don't have to do preschool this week. So anyways, but
Just when you start getting used to dropping him off and picking him up, he goes somewhere else.
yeah. So now they remind me. Oh yeah, 2 out of the 4 days that we had preschool, I've been late.
You got to get him started off right. That's important.
So now every time when I drop him off, because I walk him up there, they're like, "Okay, preschool's over at 11:30." I'm like, "Okay."
You got her at 10, so you know. If I break my office chair, I'm sending you a bill. Yeah.
Anyways, preschool is definitely a good preparation for life. So he's going to be prepared for dealing with his father. So
there we go.
And Richard, do you say kiddos?
Did I say kiddos?
No, that's a Big Daddy statement.
Do you say kiddos?
I do not.
No, that's Big Daddy.
Good. My biggest pet peeve, I think, is people referring to children as kiddos.
I call him the kid.
The kid. Where's the boy? Yeah.
I call him the boy now.
The boy. Doesn't Carradine call the bride kiddo on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
So anyways, the best part about it is neither he nor I were, neither was he worried that I had forgot him, because he had.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So he's the perfect personality for my
to be my child.
It's awesome.
Yep.
For now. Eventually maybe start getting you crap.
That's something he'll always remember. When I was in kindergarten, I got forgotten at school, and I hung out there for, it felt like hours. It was probably like 15, 20 minutes in retrospect, but you just,
At the
I
time.
remember my teacher, Mrs. Herman, who really wanted to bang her. She was hot. Do you remember her, Raleigh? Now she's known as Mrs. Irwin.
Oh, she was married to my uncle.
Yeah, your aunt.
So Rolly's like, you bet your ass I wanted to bang her. Yeah.
God, I loved her so much.
Joel's kindergarten porn story.
But I got left behind, and nobody came to get me one day. And
Janet, we applaud you for that. Yes.
I'm the only person there. But Mrs. Herman hung out with me, so I was happy.
You didn't look around. You probably started missing the bus on purpose.
That's your aunt? That's your aunt, really?
Well, it was his uncle's wife.
Well, she managed to kill him, so I don't know if she's still my aunt or not.
I think they would say by marriage, if you want to get technical.
By marriage, yeah. No, he's no longer alive, so I don't know how that works.
Oh.
Tune in next time, folks, and we'll figure it out. We'll dig into, is that still my aunt? Was she hot?
We're gonna turn into a mystery podcast now.
Could. I'm sure this is a mystery to a lot of people already. Yes.
Anyways,
that shit.
I can wrap mine up. My child's easily bought off with a small Sprite and a grilled cheese sandwich at the Adel store. So
that probably works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd forget everything if I had that.
Take me to the Adel store. I forget most things. Yeah. It's weird. Yeah. And don't take this wrong, Richard, but now with the shadow and the camera, it looks like you have eyeshadow on. You look like, that's better. You look like Randy Quaid on Kingpin when he's dancing at men's bar. I'm sorry.
Never turning my camera on again.
It just like struck me when you turned. It was like kind of shadowed a little bit. I'm sorry.
Look at his fucking arms. Got a muscle tee on.
Oh,
looks like he bench presses.
He does
200. What's enough weight? Shit. I don't know, like 200 pounds. You bench press 200 pounds, right?
1.5 times your body weight's a good start. Yeah.
I don't know. I was in California one time, and we were loading this calf, and it wouldn't stay in the trailer. And so after it ran over me about 3 times, it jumped out of the trailer, and I grabbed it around the neck and body slammed it back into the trailer, and everybody around me was very quiet.
That'll do it. Yeah. It's that sound. Yeah. It's awesome. Like, good move, Rich. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. All right. You ready to go? Sure.
No,
all right.
It was the best move because I wasn't pissed off anymore.
Yes. I've exorcised the demons. Oh, Falcon. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's see. My happy ending was actually road trip to NCBA and back with a good friend of mine and a bunch of good people there, and just being to a trade show for the first time in probably almost 3 years when I stop and think about it. So, and actually got some work done when I was there also, which is crazy. So it was a good time socially and for the good of the order for the job thing too. So sounds weird, but that was damn fun. Good to see a lot of folks from Oregon again, and just people from everywhere that I'd known. So yeah, hung out with a lot of my old sales team that were there. So we went and tore up a Mexican restaurant and had a grand old time. So bueno, yeah. Missed y'all. And this has been, I have not laughed this hard in a while, especially this past, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, but yeah, it's been bueno. So yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. But yeah, entertainment spotlight for next time is Old Henry, available on numerous platforms. of which we don't know all yet, but we will probably do some research onto that before we get there. And again, thanks to our really good friends at B&K Auto for helping make this magic happen. And to all you for listening and all your suggestions, and to these other three maniacs on the screen. Glad to have everybody here. This is this 2 times in a row we've had all 4 of us eventually.
Yep.
I think. Yeah. So easy now. It's just crazy enough to work. So
maybe get Amy back on there.
we will. Yeah, she's well, I didn't ask her, but she's been working both ends of the candle. So she's been pretty busy. But we'll drag her on next time. That'll be good for her. So hear that, Amy? No more time off. So we'll roll from there. But
She's very lazy.
what's that?
She's very lazy.
She is slothful in nature. Yeah. So if she wasn't busy doing one of her 4 jobs, she'd probably come kick your ass right now.
May still fit it in.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. So that's what she said. So anyways,
hey,
oh yeah.
Before we leave, when are these concerts in Pendleton?
June 24th. Is that right, Joel? 25th, 26th? Is that right?
What concert? I'm talking about the
Jackalope Jamboree.
Troubadours.
Yeah.
It's in June this year.
Yeah. I'll get that real quick there, Richard.
Richard, I got 2 tickets.
26th and 27th. You already give me one of the tickets, a-hole.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Take that back, Richard.
Yeah.
I thought
Only
you had
one ticket to Paradise is just not the same.
Yeah.
I thought Kurt got you a ticket.
Not that I've heard of. No.
All right, you can have my other ticket.
Thank you, dear. That's twice now we have that documented, so don't forget. Yeah.
As if I meet somebody cuter than you.
That wouldn't be hard. So we'll have to figure something else out. Yeah. So just saying. I am easy to get and hard to want. So I have to figure out how to live with that.
Do you guys know who Joshua Ray Walker is?
No, I don't.
Look him up on YouTube. He's really, really talented. You'll recognize him. He's probably 500 pounds. Just a strange looking fellow, but super talented.
Does he sing or tell jokes or do both or what?
He's a country singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I'm going to his concert. He's going to be playing at this little tiny lounge here in New York called the Mercury Lounge.
Wait a minute.
It's just going to be him. Yeah.
500-pounder in a tiny little lounge.
Tiny lounge called the Mercury Lounge.
They roll him out or what?
Yeah,
How's this work?
They just built it around him. It's like a permanent thing, like in Vegas. Yeah.
He tours. I don't know why he does it because he can't fly. This guy is morbidly obese. It's weird, but
That's interesting.
look him up. He has such a great voice and awesome lyrics. He's a good songwriter. Joshua, what did I say his name was?
You say Ray Walker?
Joshua Ray Walker.
I don't see Ray Walker in your contacts.
Sorry, calm down. Hush, woman, hush.
Let me look this up.
Cancel. Cheese and rice. They're always listening.
Ticketmaster. His name is
Siri. Stop.
Ray BNB.
Yeah, Joshua Ray Walker. Look him up on YouTube.
Hey Siri.
Right now. All 3
Shut
of you.
it.
Look it up.
Bastard. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go see him he's gonna be in New York on Thursday.
Poor craps.
And this is a video that has like 20 people.
And when he's in town. Hi, douchebag.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be really cool.
All right. Well, it's almost past my bedtime. It's almost my wake up time. So we got to get running, but we'll get this cranked out. Thanks again for everybody for making it tonight. Thanks again for all the listeners. Thanks for your feedback. We will indeed see you soon. Until then, just remember to keep on reaching.